Chilling at the head of the table where the bosses sit, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out, they laid a big smile, no handcuff by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script, we got some shooters. Pow, it's off the hip, yeah. Oh, chilling at the head of the table where the bosses sit, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out, they laid a big smile, no handcuff by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script, we got some shooters. Pow, it's off the hip, yeah. Chilling at the head of the table where the bosses sit, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out the arena, big smile, no handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script, we got some shooters. Pow, it's off the hip, off the hip.
Yes, sir.
What a night.
Man, let me get this banner off real quick. Oh wait, brother. I want to pick your thoughts on my brother Razor. It's your boy HD. Pardon me, folks. Off the hip. I welcome your thoughts. The Wise Man shirt. Oh man, that's fine. I always love me some wrestling shirts.
I gotta respect my elders. What can I say?
Oh, definitely, man. He's the GOAT. Like, I just want to take a second, like, just because you got the shirt on. Before there was Paul Heyman, I looked up to the likes of a Bobby Heenan, Captain Lou Albano, guys like that, even Fuji, right? But
Hold
Paul
on.
Heyman, you got
Oh,
more?
wait.
You got
Let's
more?
get and another fellow Paisan, another fellow New Yorker. For those that may not know, what about our boy Alfonso? The
Alfonso,
ECW days.
man, that's a dig right there. Digging in the crates right there. Paulie Dangerous, man. Paul Heyman, the Wise Man. Just wanted to give him his flowers real quick because you got the shirt on. Definitely, to me, the GOAT at what he does.
The man is one of one.
One of one, man. How'd you fit? Like, I know I had the graphic on. Let's show everybody, tonight as advertised. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. That's just as advertised.
Yeah.
They had an epic showdown. But was it what people expected? We could get into. Since you were there, I want you to like kind of lead me through the experience tonight, brother. Like, and I'm gonna
So
give what I seen from the visual on TV.
again, once I was in attendance tonight at SmackDown. Shout out Golden One Center. Always a beautiful venue. But for those that may not have checked social media, you may not have noticed that that was going to be a pre-taped venue. Now, again, I'm not mad at pre-tapes, but maybe put a little bit attention to detail to explain that again. They met at a mutual location or whatever, something of the course. We know, I know Roman Reigns was at Georgia Tech this past week, but maybe throwing, hey, Cody stopped by Roman's Stomping Grounds or whatever. But once that segment got rolling, man, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because that was just electric. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the big dog, walking on hallowed grounds, the stadium of the University of Georgia Tech. The man was cutting his teeth there. That man was a monster back in the day.
That story that they took. Once I seen they were in the football field. Once I seen which football field they were in, I looked at my wifey and I told her it's about to get real.
You see Roman pull up with the entourage of cars. You see Cody pull up with the Mustangs 5.0, meeting on that 50-yard line. Roman just taking it all in like, I'm home. So when I was in my seat watching that, I was like that Michael Jackson where he's eating the popcorn in the Thriller video, just
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, how did they dim the lights in the arena? Did they make this feel
It
cinematic?
was pitch black, where you're either watching it on the jumbotron or up top on the Tron up top. Just enjoy. Everyone's just enjoying it. Roman Reigns comes out. That whole place is chanting OTC. Cody comes in the 5.0. They're still chanting OTC.
Mm, mm.
And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, did we abandon the kid already? I'm like, let's see what happens.
I thought, you know, you could also give me analysis on it. I thought this promo, the cinema, whatever we want to call it, I'm gonna just call it cinema because that's what it felt like. I felt like I was watching cinema. This cinema between them, it kind of added that seed. Remember that seed that we spoke about on the last show? Like, oh man, I'm getting a tag team match, Cody and Roman on the same side. Now I feel like okay, we
And
seeing them.
and after hearing what they had to say to one another, and we'll get to that in a second, it wouldn't have been right if it was in Sacramento with them speaking those words. It made perfect sense if they're in Georgia, in each other's respective backyard, taking those jabs on because those are pretty deep jabs that they were taking each other too. Like they were not holding back.
I felt like
Not,
I was yo.
you could see it in their eyes that they meant every word they said.
I felt like I was watching a setup for the third match between them at WrestleMania. To be honest,
Like
that's how cinema that was. Like, I really felt like this was gonna lead to a WrestleMania match. Not saying that, oh, that's what we're gonna get this year. I'm not saying that, folks. But I'm saying the perception of how they captured me with
they're
this.
already laying the foundation for what exactly what it's meant to be. This is the money fight eventually down the road. Now, it doesn't matter who's going to have the belt going into that match. It's just they're laying the groundwork to when this is going to happen. Everyone knows this has to happen. It's just late
I'm
setting
waiting.
it out.
I'm waiting for Roman to say that a line similar to that Cena line that you've been echoing for weeks now, because it kind of felt like, yeah, I'm only here because you cannot do your job. It felt like
Shout
I was
out
gonna
John
get
Cena
something.
10 years ago.
I felt like I was gonna get something along those lines tonight with the words.
And down the road, I think we might get there, or at least a version of.
Like, oh man, like where did we start? Like, you know, Roman tells Cody, I put blood down on this field in this city.
My blood, sweat, and tears is on this field. It's on this turf.
Man.
This is my city, my stadium. But Cody even said he's naming spots all over the world. Even touched on the infamous Omni, where Dusty was famously running house. And even Cody said, "This is my city. This is my home."
Mm. I thought that was so perfectly
I'm getting chills
done.
already.
Yeah, man. Like because now it's adding that extra layer, also adding that realism, giving some people a history lesson that they might not have known. It's just doing so much in that one segment. We're just doing so much.
And real quick, chat, if you have time or you just a moment throughout the day, just type in Dusty Rhodes at the Omni, Ric Flair at the Omni. This venue is essentially the South's version of Madison Square Garden. There's so much history in this one city at this one venue.
And I thought that was also like, Cody, I've been a little critical on his promo work. I don't know if it was because of his cinema style, no crowd. We get to just listen and be captivated by them. I thought, like you said, him mentioning all of that too was a good rebuttal. Like,
and I kind of agree because again in the crowd, especially when he's in the ring with Roman, with everyone chanting OTC, we want Roman. I don't think Cody was mentally prepared for this level of adoration for Roman Reigns coming back, especially this soon. Everyone thought that he saw the crowd, some of the crowd by his side or whatever. Oh no, 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 sir, no, sir. When the big dog is in the house, you tip your hat, You wipe your feet before you cross the threshold. You pay respects to the man who held the belt for almost 1,400 days.
No, it's true. And, and sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's not there anymore. And I think that's a perfect case of what we're seeing. Everybody wanted Roman to drop the title. People felt like they were tired of the bloodline storyline. And once you add him back into the mix, you find out that
He's
wasn't
back
the
like he never
case.
left.
Yeah, like it wasn't the case. We just had to be a little patient. We had to see where things were going. And sometimes I'm not gonna lie, maybe this was needed too, though, right? Like this whole audible, this adjustment, whatever you want to call it. Like Cody Rhodes, let's say Cody Rhodes doesn't come into the company and we keep Roman Reigns with the belt and all of this stuff. Maybe the crowd absolutely still hates Roman, right? And still wants him to go. Like where things have to happen for things to go in place.
Well, say Cody doesn't come back. That doesn't rule out Punk potentially. That doesn't rule out the inevitable match that he has to have with Seth Rollins. Maybe you throw in a fresh face like an LA Knight, maybe a Drew McIntyre, a Sheamus, Andrade. There's other things you could have filled in the slot, but Cody and Roman kind of fit. It's like a match made in heaven, similar to like Punk and
Yeah,
Drew.
right. That's that. Yeah,
It's like when
weird.
Drag lives, it's a perfect fit. It's like putting that foot in a Cinderella shoe.
No, it really is because they're dynamic. Like, who can tell the better story? Maybe
Styles
CM.
make fights.
Yeah, like they're telling a hell of a story for the last 3 years. Just
It's
dumb.
like if you got Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo doing a painting together. It's like Vincent Van Gogh doing a portrait while listening to Mozart or Beethoven. It's a masterpiece. It's art.
Undeniable. It's
But
crazy.
what I loved about this was this to me it felt like a reintroduction to Roman Reigns because he touched on I got nothing to lose in this.
Oh,
They
I
took
loved
everything
when
from
he
me.
said that.
They took Jimmy from me. They took my bloodline from me. They took my
Ula
Ulafala from
Fala.
me.
Mm.
I have nothing to lose. For the first time in a long time, there is no weight on my shoulders. And what does that mean, people? The chain is off. He is going to be a man possessed, an animal unleashed. No remorse, no regard.
I also like how he told Cody, like referencing that line of no weight on his shoulder. He told Cody, "Now it's on yours."
Mhm.
And
All
Cody
the
had
pressure
that
that
like,
was on me, you have to bear that pressure. You saw what I was able to do with it. Yeah, and what he might want to say was, what I thrived with the pressure, you seem to be struggling with it. You know he wanted to throw that jab in there.
and and you know what's crazy too? That something seems different about Roman right now, to me at least, where it seems like when he had the belt, maybe he was getting a little bored, maybe he was contemplating going away. But right now, it seems like he's reinvigorated with this because this is the first time, too, really, that the crowd is actually behind him willingly, besides the days of the
This is the
Shield.
first time he's actually you can tell he's actually excited for something since Brock. Let's just call it fact to fact. Like
That's what it
the
seems
first time
like to
since
me.
Brock Lesnar, like he's ready to go at this. Like the battery is recharged, the mind is clear, the body is as healthy as ever. We thought we saw the best Roman Reigns during the pandemic. That may have just scratched the surface because now he
Yeah,
has the wisdom on top of the brawn.
his last two promos to me, just just the authority in which he was saying things.
Just that tone in his voice, like
That's
he's about business.
I
He
like
knows,
it.
and like he told Cody for weeks, like this is family business. You stuck your nose in my family's business, and even that line he threw at the end, you are in the way of my life.
Oh man,
Like, get the fuck out of my way.
I'm not even
We're
gonna lie
good.
too. That moment too, it didn't favor Cody to me because when Cody did it, I was like, who the fuck in real life will walk in front of somebody like that and not get they like
I'll tell you who. a disrespectful motherfucker. Like I was saying for weeks. When this match happens, Cody will be beyond a shadow of a doubt a heel.
He
We
has
are
to be,
seeing
bro.
this before our very eyes.
He
You're
has to
seeing him
be.
right now. He's got that demeanor. Like he has that I don't give a fuck attitude. Like this
Yeah.
title is my birthright. He's gonna be that a rare, almost like what Flair was once upon a time. Just
Yes. That's what
but
he gives me
just
vibes of.
I am that dude. But now you have nepotism on the side as well. I'll tell you because again, he could say, "You guys deny my family this. This belongs to my family. I'm taking back what you guys stole from us." So it's only a matter of time for Cody dons the jet black hair. I've been
Yeah,
calling
because
it for months.
Roman in that he looked like he was ready to push Cody's shit back. Like, yo, you're in my way. Cody had to back up. Like, he had to let him know you're in the way of my life, bro. Like, don't stop playing with me, Cody. Like, and he also said at the end of all of this, I'm coming, like you just mentioned, I'm coming back for what's mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming back for that.
But what was interesting was before that, Roman knew that Cody wanted something particular because he signed the contract. What do you want? Just say it.
What do you want?
I want your word that you're gonna have my back like I'm gonna have yours. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Now, do I believe they're gonna be on the same page that whole match in a couple weeks? No. I still feel that should Roman and Cody win, Cody might sneak in a crossroads on Roman, similar to what Cody Rhodes did on Kenny Omega breaking up the Bullet Club back at the Cop Palace about 8 years ago.
Mm.
Like, I'm going to call this ball right now. Roman be exiting the ring. Cody will grab him, hit him with the crossroads, and he'll just stare at him as he just powders out.
I mean, in my opinion, I
And
think you're right,
Atlanta
man.
will just
If you want to make Cody hated and he's already getting pushed to that territory, like we said, we're favoring Roman more right now. Like the crowd is just they head over heels for Roman.
go for that jugular, take all of the air out of the room. Leave everyone head scratch. Can you imagine out hits that crossroad that you just they throw that little ticker with the little credits to dead silence and just Cody just staring at them?
That next Friday is instantly must watch.
Just that visual.
That SmackDown that Friday is must watch.
But now it's must watch for several reasons.
Hmm.
Especially with what we saw with the main event. Because now on two separate occasions, actually maybe even three, you can argue, is
Yes.
KO gonna take him out?
You know what? To add on to the heel theory, I think Cody Rhodes takes out Kevin Owens.
That's what I'm saying. And then that's how you bring in Randy Orton. Cody snaps on Randy as well. And then Roman could chime in, being the anti-hero guy, stating, see, you're cracking under your own pressure. Whereas me, I got my family. I know I'm good.
Yeah, because Roman, for some weird reason, he seems to be like he got this voice of reasoning within him where he knows how to just say the right things and make you think about the situation. Yeah. That's the beauty of how I love how Roman developed so much. Like you said, to me, this is some of the best work I've seen on the mic. No,
We may not even do the best work yet, which is crazy.
crazy. It's still to come. Wait, there's more. Kind of vibes. Like,
But tonight's episode seemed like several chapters in the evolution of Kevin Owens. Throughout the show, just adding different sections of the specific chapter. And again, anytime KO was in the ring, that was the loudest reaction the crowd was feeling. Like again, KO, Sacramento loves you dearly. They love you.
the Kevin Owens case to me has been weird for a few weeks now. I mean, right after that segment we see Kevin Owens, they cut over and just show him backstage watching what we all just watched between Roman and Cody.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, when the crowd panned to him, on the camera caught all of it. The venue roared.
I think there was some like I could be wrong, but there was some voice control, volume control there because they tried to get Byron Saxton to ask Kevin
No,
Owens.
that place erupted because they, again, especially with what KO had to say later in the night, I think the crowd overall was kind of on the same page. And what KO was stating was, as far as talking with referencing Cody, all I did for you, our history against the bloodline, and you're gonna side with him against said bloodline when I'm right here. Is that how you feel?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's gonna get good.
I mean, for me, I thought like them making Kevin Owens care about the situation after he just said he was done with the bloodline and all of it.
Well, Kevin's always had a big heart, and this puts him in a very odd confliction because again, he wants to be done with this, but his friends, i.e., Cody
Cody
Rhodes,
Rhodes.
Randy Orton, and yes, you can argue Sami Zayn eventually down the road. They're choosing to interject themselves back in this. So, like the saying goes in the movies, just when I take them out, they pull me back in.
Yep. And I mean, you know what? Like sometimes with Kevin Owens, it's like a weekly basis for me with him because there's moments where I enjoy seeing him out there, and then there's moments where I'm like, man, I wish they just put him in a different storyline. You know, maybe sent him over to Raw or something, had him
Well,
over there. But
I'm gonna be honest with tonight, what they did with him, I want to see more of him on SmackDown. I want to
mm,
see more of him with this because with what's been going on with him and what they did today, they unveiled so many more layers, so many more tabs what they could do with this. Especially with him and Cody, who turns on who first? Like there's a lot more they can do with KO now than what they had a couple weeks ago.
yeah, I
Especially
was
since you
about
got
to
Randy
say
back
that.
on SmackDown too.
I was about to say that too. That it feels like now at this point they can play with that more because of where Cody and Roman is at within their storyline, as opposed to that whole little angle they were doing a few weeks ago with like, oh, Kevin Owens turned on all of his teammates and great, and it was basically Grayson Waller and Austin Theory trying to like throw the wrench in there.
And I'm
I,
surprised I didn't see them today.
did we
I'm
need?
kind of surprised. I
Did
mean,
we?
no, it wasn't needed, but I thought at least you would have saw them like maybe hit it in the backstage segment or something real quick,
They were
or
about as
trying
good
to egg
as
on KO. But again,
they was as good as DIY out there tonight.
fuck no, fuck no. Honestly, if you would have
They
had a little bit
shitted
of them
on them
included with
today.
everything, yeah, they did.
They shitted on DIY today.
Again, like I told you prior before we went live, I heard them. I heard Johnny Gargano get booze. I have never heard him get booed under the WWE umbrella ever since he's been there. He was getting booed when him and Ciampa cleared the bloodline out of the ring. But before we get into that, I wanted to pick your brain on the very intricate promo we got from the MFT, FKA, the bad boy, FKA, the good bad boy, Tamatonga.
Man, so I think he's gonna be an entertaining, unique person on the microphone.
I'm telling you.
Cause
I told you the minute this sign up, this boy is special.
yeah, and then also I like how he's getting it. Like he hasn't been on the microphone much on live WWE television, and he's
Maybe
already
once or twice, maybe.
maybe, And I
He
felt
has
like,
his natural comfort charisma to him, where he again once he gets on a rhythm, he just starts flowing.
yeah. Because there's one thing that I see that's hard for people that's not good on the microphone, and it's to have a cadence. He already has a cadence to how.
Now, now Tom was nice on the mic in Japan, but my thing with him was similar to with Osprey is can they keep that same rhythm going without cussing? That was my question, but this answered all of my questions with this one promo. Like I said, he was comfortable, he was calm, he was fluid. It was just money.
And it made me believe into him being the MFT again, the right hand man. Like he's a bit different from Solo. Like Solo was quiet when he was the enforcer for Roman.
Even Jake, respectively, has his own cadence. Tongaloa has his own cadence. But when Thomas steps in there, he's slick tongued, whatever. He tells you what he feels, what his heart on his chest. If you don't like you, he's gonna tell you. If he hates you, he's damn sure gonna tell you. He don't give a fuck. He's gonna let it out because he's gonna tell you how he feels.
I also like in the beginning of the show, Jacob got to get some words off too. You don't really hear him speak as much. He whooped the
Aside from
security.
Solo, I love
Love you.
you. I love you, Solo. And
That got it.
I
Nah,
love Jake. I love Jake.
nah, that got it though,
Jake,
because that's really on.
my whole family. Again,
I love
it's all love. I don't want no smoke. But that line is money.
Nah, but for real though, because that's we always see him with Solo, right? So like seeing these three tonight on their own to me gave
Oh, it
me
was perfect.
it gave me like a different look at them for real.
Oh,
Like,
even a couple times throughout the show, Tonga Loa got a standing ovation.
I mean, he didn't. You know what? I give him his credit too. He hasn't been acting foolish. He hasn't been doing crazy things.
But again, much like Melo, he found his comfort zone again. He got a little more confidence in that knee that he had cut open a few times. He's getting like I told y'all, he can go. Just let him get his group. Let Stella get her group back.
Right, like I'm not saying this is what happened, but even Triple H had to give Taker that prep talk, like, "Yo, you're him. Don't forget
Even
who
with
you
the
are."
evolution with Toe Flair, you are still the nature boy. Just you have to tell yourself you are still that dude.
Yup.
Tongaloa, like again, the Silverback, the Gorillas of Destiny, 7 times IWGP Heavyweight Champions, the most decorated tag team in all of Japan's history. These are the dudes. Tongaloa is back to that mode again.
No, and
Finally.
I've seen it there today because he is to me. When I look at him, he's the bigger of the three. Jacob is big too, but I mean, like Tonga got the height over the three.
And I'm gonna be honest, pound for pound, Tongaloa is probably as strong as Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman.
He
I'm telling you, pound for pound, he is that dude.
I
And
mean, I
he can
remember when
move like Tongaloa need to be too.
he came in early in his WWE career, and I was like, man, this
Mm.
Camacho look like,
We don't speak of Camacho.
that dude looked phenomenal throughout his career. But man, if he could get back to that confidence like we seen in the last few weeks, they made him lose the
He,
eye patch. So we go like,
he getting there. He getting there. This is why I've been preaching ever so aggressively on this podcast since Tongaloa had emerged. I'm like, just wait. When the time comes, he's gonna show you what he can do. Just wait. Once again, Razor was right.
man, just them three tonight looked phenomenal throughout the whole course of the show. On the microphone, backstage segment, in the ring.
And just their chemistry with them three alone is incredible. Both again prior to them coming to WWE, Jacob and the Gorillas have never crossed paths ever. So if they don't have this chemistry from the jump, that's rare.
Now, I don't want to look too much into things because Solo could have simply been off the show because personal issues or a sickness, whatever the case may be. But I feel like this might have been a good chance to see how do these guys feel without Solo by their side.
Like, apparently pretty damn good.
And I think Solo's gonna find himself in that territory where it's gonna be weird soon for him.
And again, if anything, this is gonna only see where Solo stands on the hierarchy of being a main event mid card guy. So this is gonna be a great test for him. I have no doubt that he's gonna succeed and overcome this once he falls in that what if category. He's gonna be just fine.
And in a weird way too, I kind of want to see Solo. Like we've seen Solo versus like not versus Roman, but we've seen them tangle in the ring. I kind of want to see Solo versus Jacob. I want Solo to be tested.
Ooh, ooh,
That's kind of where I want to go.
ooh. I'll drink to that one right there.
Yeah, that'd be fucking crazy. Like to me, I just want to see like
And just think that could be a potential Mania match.
so many implications going forward for their placement. Their
Who
ranking.
is the animal of the family? But also, real quick sidebar. Apparently, Zilla and GCW are like this now. Maybe Solo's out recruiting. They got Armando Alejandro Estrada back. Who's to say?
I mean, it'd be special to see something formulate in NXT. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how Solo was, where I felt like it wasn't done purposely. I don't know why it was done that way, but Solo went to NXT and it gave me vibes like, okay, well, my brothers never bring me up, so now I got to come to WWE on my own. I'm Solo.
And a part of that could have been one of Vince's last ditch things to try, just saying, hey, the rest of the family's doing just fine. If we throw him to the wolves, he'll figure it out himself. That could be it, honestly. But again, yeah, it has worked. Let's not sell Solo short, especially he has come a long way this year.
Hell yeah.
But if you get him locking horns with Jacob Fatu, that could potentially be a match that steals WrestleMania weekend. You heard it here first. That match could steal the entire weekend in a weekend that could possibly have Roman versus The Rock, Cody versus Randy, Punk versus Seth, potentially Cena and Brock on the card as well, to name a few.
Because my thing is this.
Fatu and Solo Sikoa could steal that weekend that has that loaded roster already.
Jacob has been elevating, and yes, I'm going to say he's been elevating everybody he's been in the ring with. Like I even say these tag team matches have been.
You say elevating, I say, like I said, it's like a glove with a perfect fit. It's
Yeah, it's meant
money.
to be. Yeah, it's money. It's meant to be. It's a match made. Because Jacob, if you put Jacob in the match with Solo, even when we get to the Jacob and Roman, like I think Roman's gonna get tested in the way he hasn't been tested with other superstars. Maybe Brock, right? But Brock hasn't shown that athleticism.
Can you imagine Jacob versus Brock? Jacob versus Gunther. Jacob versus Braun Breaker. Jacob versus Braun Strowman.
I mean, arguably,
Jacob versus Bronson Reed.
Jacob has been, in my eyes, booked as somebody that's unbeatable, damn near.
Right, rightfully so. Again, he's a monster. He's meant to be treated as such. Only certain folks can get the better of him. But again, just think of what we have to look forward with him. Now, him being WWE is a long time coming. And again, me seeing what he's done in MLW per se, the sky's the limit with him. He has, you can run down the list. He checks all the boxes. He is special. There's a reason why folks say that he is the most talented person in that whole goddamn family.
But
he is him.
I'm not gonna lie, like again, seeing him do that moonsault with ease
Best
tonight,
moonsault in the fucking business. best moonsault in the fucking world.
I was like,
Tell
bro,
me when I'm telling lies.
you said that a few weeks ago too, if I'm not mistaken.
I've been saying it since they signed his ass.
Yeah, like I seen it again
Like,
tonight. I'm just like, wow, bro, like the way it's just
and like
hitch.
for me watching it in person for the very first time, I was so mesmerized by it. I forgot to pull my phone. I would have seen. I'm just like, shit. It is just as beautiful up in person as it is on TV. Like I was just blown. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and with all due respect, and it's not to say that he moves with such feline agility, like it's like how a cat moves, and
He
it's
has
just so
that
effortless.
natural athleticism. Like you don't think someone and it might he's slimmed down significantly, but dudes his size aren't supposed to do this type of shit.
No, you usually see dudes gas. And it's not them
Again,
selling the effects of a match. It's
him, even a Braun Breaker, I put them in the same category as the Brock Lesnar, to where they have so much size, so much athleticism. They're in the category them three of their own.
they
And
freaks.
yeah, again, you can call them freaks in nature, you can call them just athletes or whatever. It's just those three. I put them in a category of their own, which says a lot about everybody else. Like they just have that certain athleticism, a certain aura about a certain agility that's where you can ask them to do whatever they want, they're gonna do it,
No,
and
that's
they're gonna
facts
do it
because
to perfection.
Lashley, Lashley's huge, but to me, his first launch isn't as quick as these guys, like you mentioned it. And he
And
got
another
that.
dude that if he wasn't plagued by the injury bugs, I would respect to throw in there would be Ivar. Now we haven't seen too much of
Oh,
Ivar in WWE, but if you watch him and stuff in Ring of Honor and New Japan, this big son of a bitch can do the same goddamn shit as Brock and everybody else.
no, I mean even some of what we've seen in WWE, he was doing springboards, clearing top ropes.
No, I'm telling you, watch his stuff in Ring of Honor and New Japan. Like that big fucker's and he should not be able to do a fucking Phoenix splash, but he can.
Got digging the crates right there.
Yeah, again, like, but again, I'll throw Ivor in that category with them three already. So those four guys, as big as as stout as they are, like they can do everything that a Will Ospreay, Ricochet, Rey Mysterio can do. It's just they got 300 pounds behind them.
And then I just want to go back to I don't know if it's just me, like prisoner of the moment, but I really feel like the new SmackDown presentation is really helping. Like
It's growing on me.
it is, it is. It's really like a different vibe
It's,
because it feels like a new show again.
especially again, especially being there in person. This is the first WWE event I've been to that's not a live event in probably 10, 15 years since Taz and Cole were a team together. And that was a long time ago. And this, for again, from start to finish, again, had there if they threw in like two more matches on the show tonight, I shit you not, as God is my witness, it would have had a PLE vibe to it.
Mm.
But again, SmackDown all in all was great, especially with how they're tying certain stuff in, testing what other things. It felt like I was watching a movie being produced,
Like honestly, for real, like
and the crowd, even during the stuff that wasn't as great, the crowd was still lively as hell.
I enjoyed everything about tonight's show, the pace, the cinema. Like I
So,
didn't really
so
even. Mhm.
one thing that I was doing that's before and after each match, before each and every segment started, whatever, I'm peeping the crowd, seeing who's taking their liquor break, who's taking their bathroom break, whatever. I'm gonna see like who's
Crowd
quote
reaction.
unquote tuning out. It was very minimal.
People engaged. They don't want to move out their seat.
Everyone was engaged. Well,
That's why I didn't want to bother you.
with the exception of one spot, but it wasn't that really that noticeable anyways, which was the match that followed the Andrade LA Knight match, which was Apollo Crews and Vinci.
Which yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. How do you feel about that match?
Personally, I loved it. Vinci was throwing just a little bit more. I don't know if I don't know if the camera caught it, but each time Cruz is taking that body slam, his right leg was clipping the ropes.
Yeah, I
It
peeped
was
that. I had
electric.
I
Each slam, he gave him
yeah.
three of them. Each one clipped the ropes. Each one a little bit harder.
And Apollo did a good job selling it. Like you see him going for the leg, like grimacing.
And but again, but I don't know if the camera caught, but each time that he was going him, Vinci was like a step closer to the rope to the corner, a step closer, and just
Now,
dumping him.
I've seen that move done before, right? Where they'll do the body slam off the ropes.
Like the first one, I was like maybe he was a little off, whatever. Then did it again. I'm like, oh wait a minute. Then he got closer this time. Third time got even closer. Did it again. I'm like, I like this.
No aggression there. I just
And
felt it was an odd
even
move.
when Vinci came out, he got a pretty hefty pop when he came out. But and again, also his music is growing on me. I think his music is fire. I know Snake's gonna say you and I hate WWE music, but no, with this one, there's something there.
I'm not gonna lie, he was laying it on Apollo. Like if you
And,
seen
and there was one shot where he had him in the corner that was to the left of the hard cam. He smacked the fuck out of him.
bro, if you looked at Vinci's hand, that shit was red. Like I've never
Hmm.
seen somebody's hand so red of giving chops,
Yeah, he was following through with them shots.
laying
Like
them
feet
things.
planted, just bam.
I
I
was
was
like,
like, all right, let's go.
he always gave me baby Cesaro vibes. You know what I'm saying? Claudio now, but former Cesaro and WWE. Maybe it's the bald head thing, but he gives me little baby Cesaro vibes. That's why I couldn't really get behind Vinci. I try to get behind, but I don't know.
But again, I love what I saw out of him. Especially, again the added aggression. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but I if I think Alicia Taylor so announced that he's part of Imperium.
That
I
should be a
could be mistaken.
no. If she
I,
did,
I,
that should
I
be a mistake
yeah, I think she said representing Imperium when he walked out. I could be wrong though.
because Sami Zayn
Because
just touched on Ludwig breaking apart from him.
right. So I was like, well, we'll see what follows there. But again, even with the roll up by Cruz, the aftermath, I loved.
I like how they
And
just go away from Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Like,
maybe that's on ice for a minute.
well,
'Cause if they're a permanent thing, I'm not gonna be mad at it. But didn't Cruz face Vinci last week as well?
yeah. 2 weeks ago, I think they said, and he got the roll up when he came
Yeah,
out.
yeah. So this being the run back, I like what they're going with this. I like the snap that Vinci had on his brainbuster because the back of Cruz's head did graze the floor.
Mm.
Like he
Honestly,
dropped his ass.
honestly, I'm thinking where they go with that, they can very much go the same route Andrade and Carmelo.
Yeah,
And
no, no, this has legs to it.
yeah,
But for if for me,
yeah, that brain buster was sick.
don't don't let Vinci talk. Just let him be a silent killer. I'm not saying he can't talk. It's just let him just be cool, calm, collective. He'll speak when he deems it's necessary, but don't have him speak just out the blue.
Yeah, I never really was a fan of him when he got words off while he was in Imperium. So yeah, it's probably best he just he's on the attack right now. And then when it's time to speak, we'll get there with him. But
Could be a few weeks from now, could be a few months from now. Just don't rush that.
yeah, I'm surprised they gave them boys the spotlight. And to me, it was also like for me again, easy to watch is a huge thing for me when you go through such a long day. So today's episode of SmackDown, even when it got to their match, I was still here watching. Like you said about going taking breaks. I didn't take no breaks during except for a commercial break. I'll try to run to the kitchen or something.
And I didn't think this rematch was gonna be as good as it was. I was not expecting that.
Once he started laying it, I'm gonna be honest, chat.
They
I'm a
were
simple
laying it
guy.
in
Yeah, once you start laying it in, the simple things get me, chat. Like all you gotta do is some strong, effective strikes, and I'm paying attention.
because
Every
from where I was saying that felt like I was it sounded like I was sitting in front row, like it was loud.
yeah, and it was like it's a difference between like when you do a super kick and slap your own thigh to make the sound. No, this is him slapping his chest, and you're hearing that hand to chest impact. Like that shit was cold.
I got a little sidebar about that. There was a little segment towards the end of the show. I remember who Gargano was aiming the super kick for, but Gargano did the thigh slap, missed super kick by about this much. You could see the leg do the whole little roundhouse, the roundabout, whatever, this far from dude's face. Johnny, Johnny Wrestling, not a good look. Situational awareness. You're better than that. At least I would hope you're better than that.
That shit was just
That's
like
all.
it got to
That's
be
all I'll say
routine.
about it.
Yeah, it got that had to have been like a routine thing right there because again, if like
Okay, I get it. You're facing the hurricane, whatever. That's your main focus, but to miss by all probably 2 feet, maybe three. Come on now, you've been in the game long enough.
yeah, I would prefer for the seller, like whoever getting hit with the super kick or something, like was you taking the move, spit the gum out like Dolph used to do, or Sean, or like oh my god, is that a tooth? Like you got Corey Graves selling it, like did a tooth just fly out? I prefer that rather than the over slapping of the legs and the sounds.
And especially when you miss when you
Yeah.
undershoot it by that much.
No, I don't want to kill AEW, but I seen the clip of like Ricochet and whatever he did. He stomped on the dude's hand or he missed his head. I don't know what he.
Oh no! I'll get to that after we get to the SmackDown. I got some stuff to say about that. I'll save that for after the SmackDown review.
That shit was. I was like, man. But yeah, nonetheless though, we had that Apollo and Giovanni match. That shit was fire. We had LA Knight Andrade start off the night. I thought they match was clean, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think we had spoken about it earlier before we went on about LA Knight, you know what I'm saying, with the corner misses, him going up, slipping on the ropes in the corner 2 times.
Shit happens. Just know your cardio.
I was also surprised, I told you this off air. I was surprised Andrade lost the match clean, but it also set up for the backstage. And like you were saying, though, to your credit, they had that moment, which is like, I'm gonna see you. We're gonna get back to it between Andrade and LA Knight.
It's one of those. You're gonna let me show you some love. You're gonna accept my handshake. You're gonna give me the respect that I'm giving you, and we will run it back.
And they had a
Because
man, they had a phenomenal match to me. Like,
again, if this match would have been the main event, I wouldn't have been mad at it.
oh, really? It was just like,
They were firing on all cylinders. Like they were out there for business.
and that,
And again, Andrade has chemistry with so many guys. It's ridiculous.
yeah, it seems like he's so easy to work with. Like, you just literally
And
plucked
with
him out of
Andrade,
free agency.
I know Andrade's been in the gym, but this motherfucker's put on some size because he's damn near as thick as LA Knight is now. Like this man, if you told me he's 250, 260, whatever, I'm gonna believe it because he's every bit of that. And for him to do that that little double moonsault thing that he does is it's incredible.
Yeah, that shit. Like what they call it, the double Spanish fly or something. You talk about that one or?
Yeah, where he does a moonsault, lands on his feet, then hits the moonsault standing on top of
Oh
that.
yeah, that one, yeah, that shit is crazy. I thought you were talking about the springboard, the Spanish fly they be doing off
Oh no,
the
no,
middle
no,
ropes.
that too. Again, guys that hefty and stocky shouldn't be able to move like that, but again, they still find ways to do it. And Andrade is a true heavyweight and still able to do that flawlessly. Like again, like whenever Charlotte comes back, should they go for that power couple gimmick and you put the rocket on both of them, I'm not going to be mad at it.
I'm happy though that Andrade found his footing this time around. Cause like you said, now I'm looking at him like, he's at that heavy, like he could be a heavyweight contention. The way he's been going at it right now, even that spinning elbow, that looked like that'd take anybody out.
When he landed that, you could hear the crowd go.
Yeah,
Because-
I've seen him do that in person. Crazy.
but again, but
But
just
tonight though, that shit looked
again, to me being in the crowd, me again. So where I'm facing, it's at the point where he's connecting that elbow. I'm standing there looking at him, so I'm watching him just do like this full torque, full momentum. You can see him put the little extra emphasis on out of it to get the little extra spin on it, and just the follow through. Again, he's putting in some serious work. So when his number's called and they put the rocket on him, I promise you, there will not be a single person that will be disappointed by his ring work. Whether he's facing Cody, whether he's facing Roman, whether he's facing Punk, Seth, Drew, Braun, whoever for a top belt. It's only a matter of time with Andrade.
man. And then look, his usage was like to me fire. He has that match and then gets right into the backstage, which was a fucking entertaining backstage segment between him and Carmelo. Like again, I said it off here. Their scrap right there looked like a little real squabble. Like that when he
Mello,
threw Carmelo.
Mello, leave my kings alone. For fuck's sake, leave them alone. We should have won in 2002 anyway. Leave them alone. We didn't choke. We got robbed by the refs.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Carmelo, he was on point today. Couldn't have been me. He's talking his shit.
I ain't see someone choke that bad since.
Yeah. But the way that Andrade threw him though, like Andrade's footing, his awareness, like they're scrap, and then he just grabs him and throws him into the right like storage container and all of that. Like I was just like, even like you said, his head hitting the camera, you seeing the camera full of all his sweat. It was you couldn't not have
It looked like a fight.
yeah.
That was a fight. That was a fade.
Yeah, even when he lifted Carmelo up, like I was like, oh shit, like he really just earthed him, like boom,
With them two, it's on site and it's personal. Like
and right now, Andrade's up 3-2.
it's 3-2. We were about to get match number 6, and like I've been saying for a minute, me encanta mi raza. I love my race. I love my countrymen, but I gotta lean towards Melo in 7.
Mm.
I want to see Melo hit that next level. I want to see what Melo can do. Seeing where his benchmark is amongst the upper echelon.
I think he'll be an entertaining champion more than LA Knight.
I'm talking about potentially challenging for the world title, where his benchmark is for that upper main event spot.
Carmelo?
Like, yeah, because again, like he can get there, but once we get him past the series with Andrade, where is the benchmark truly at? Therefore, we know where to zero in on him to put some extra mileage and work in. I want to see that out of him.
You know what it is for me with Carmelo, and it might not make sense, but it's just how I view it. I think for me to feel that way about him, I need to see him grow up in the ring.
Again, that's what I'm leaning towards as well. But again, like once we
Yeah.
get past Andrade, let's see how he adapts, how he evolves. Let's see where the benchmark is with his abilities, whether it be in the ring, on the mic, and let's watch him adapt and grow up from there.
Hmm.
Because like I said tonight, probably as we figure that probably just finished up, he has a dark match against Cody Rhodes, the current world heavyweight
Let's
champion.
let's take a look at all the people he's like from my memory. He's faced Swerve for the North American Championship. Swerve went on to
Yes.
become world heavyweight champion somewhere else. We could argue, right? Whatever. But I still think Swerve upped in size though. Like leaving WWE,
Swerve put on some size.
since leaving WWE and Hit Row, he put on some size. Then he who else? He's taking on Ilya and Braun,
LA Knight.
LA Knight. So those guys have went on, and I feel like they're more mature in the ring in the sense that they're not playing no games. With Melo, once he's getting in with Andrade, like you said, once we
But
see
but 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 that's the thing. Those are guys that have been in his class. Let's get him up against a Drew McIntyre, a Seth Rollins, a Roman Reigns, a Cody Rhodes, a Punk, maybe a Brock Lesnar. Let's get him to that tier of guys, and let's see where he stands.
yeah, unfortunately, he had a rocky start because they gave him that first look against Cody. The match, it
But
was
but but,
debatable.
but again, that was right after the draft. But
Hmm.
now that he's been on the main roster for a minute, let's reassess that. Let's see where he stands now as far as his progression.
Right, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
You're gonna get a whole different mellow.
because they would look like they was gonna put him in a program with Bobby Lashley, and then injuries
Lashley
showed up.
decided that I want to leave.
Yeah, and then he leaves. So it looked
Well,
like they just.
apparently Lashley's got a boxing match coming up.
Mm, we shall see. Straight boxing, no MMA.
I want to see it's boxing
Yeah, I
match.
think it
Wait,
is a boxing match because I think I seen a couple like news reports about that. Also, him saying that on that podcast. I forgot the name of the podcast he was on.
let's see. Um, the match is gonna be supposedly in Vegas. So he says he has one lined up, but nothing's been confirmed yet. So for all we know, it could be Wolf tickets to try to get more money in the WWE and or AEW. Which
I don't know.
again, it's a smart tactic by
Yeah,
him
yeah,
to get more money.
Bobby's smart right now too. I feel like he's not tying himself down to no other. Like he also leaving in that window to be open with WWE. He could go explore other stuff right now, and then if they happen to call him back,
A part of again, me being a selfish fan, I would much rather see him in TNA purely because of the run back with Moose.
mm,
I don't know if you saw his matches back in the day, but him and Moose
yeah, I peeped
is
them.
money. Lashley versus PCO is money.
That's
Hell,
Lashley's run
hell,
in TNA is what made
hell,
me like
hell.
really.
Even if Lashley goes to the NWA, the current NWA World's Champion, the man with the 10 pounds of gold is EC3. Those two have money together. So there's places for Lashley to go. It just depends on who's going to pay his ransom, essentially. Now, again, as long as he's happy, that's all that matters. But there are certain places where he could benefit more than others that may not pay as much as an AEW. Because let's be honest, if he goes to AEW, what's he going to do realistically? I mean, yes, you can argue all these X quote unquote dream matches, but then again, look at Claudio, look at Miro, look at Hobbs, look at Wardlow, look at Lance Archer, Keith Lee.
Miro just asked for his release. I'm reading. No, how true
Yeah,
it is.
and that's allegedly going to get denied because they know he's going to want to go back to WWE. Just like Ricky Starks put his request that got denied because WWE wants him. Tony Khan is especially so with their rights deal, it's essentially all confirmed, ready to go. The question is, are they going to announce the dollar sign? Like, are they going to have a physical home? There's rumors that Rampage is going to get rebranded to Shockwave, and that'll be on FS1, which is a Fox network. Now, no one's doubted that they're going to get a rights renewal. It's just how much is Warner Brothers going to give them if they get FS1? How much are they going to give them for a show? And that dollar amount determines how crazy Tony's going to go on free agency. Because he's going to put his own money in on certain deals, but if he can get some money from Warner Brothers or FS1, that's going to mean he's going to go even crazier on spending money.
You're gonna see Ric Flair back on Shockwave debut episode, premiere
I,
episode of
I,
Shockwave.
to keep it a buck, I'd be surprised if we don't see a Ric Flair January 6th when Raw goes to Netflix.
It's almost like we gotta pull out all the stops.
Because we're going to get Cena. We could possibly get Brock. I'd be surprised if we don't get Flair announcing a Dave Batista Hall of Fame enshrinement.
Mm.
I would be surprised if that doesn't happen.
He's going in this year.
Well, everybody wants Batista in the Hall of Fame. Batista feels he's a Hall of Famer. It's just who's going to put him in and who's going to induct him and when. Because I would almost assume that at minimum Batista and Cena are going to go in together.
Mm. OVW. Throw Randy in there too.
OVW Hall of Famers. You could have Orton induct Batista and Cena because he's two of their best rivalries were against them two. Because of the evolution factor, you could have Triple H put in Batista and Orton put in Cena.
Mm-hmm.
But on the topic of Batista, I thought it was very interesting his comments on his time in OVW. Now, if you haven't had to listen to that yet, he spoke a little bit on Jim Cornette. Now, with Jim Cornette, do with that name what you may. Me personally, I think he's a very valued historian of the business. He's been in the business almost half a century. He's seen it all, done it all, respectively. Dave Batista feels like he was underutilized in OVW and wasn't given time to grow.
Mm.
Now, Jim replied to that, and he felt like, well, if you're an old school monster, so to speak, you're meant to only do so much because you don't want to be a big guy doing all the flippy shit, whatever, get caught with a rope, whatever, and get treated like a normal guy. You aren't meant to be treated like a normal guy. That's how he looked at it, which makes sense. But how do you feel? Knowing what Batista ultimately did in WWE, do you feel like Batista was underutilized as far as being treated as, for lack of a better term, a dojo boy?
Well, just from my knowledge of being a fan and seeing what I see, looking at the three guys,
they all got pushed for different reasons. Like I honestly felt like Randy, Cena, Batista, maybe Cena of them three, and maybe Randy had the actual physical, like they could go in the ring.
But also in that same class, you had a Brock Lesnar, you had a Shelton Benjamin, you had a Charlie Haas. Now with Jim Cornette, he feels like with Batista specifically, he gave the vibe like he was awaiting instructions, whereas everyone else went out and asserted themselves to where they were then given instructions.
I mean, that seems about right because Brock Lesnar give me the vibe of like at that moment in time, next big thing, Brock Lesnar. Y'all don't care if you Hulk Hogan, The Rock. I'm coming to destroy everything. Like that's the vibe I got from Brock.
Or Shelton Benjamin, the gold standard.
Even when he was out the greatest tag team with Kurt Angle, like there was a vibe like, oh nah, this dude take what he do serious. Like it's kind of like Gable, like you could believe in that background that they portraying or whatever it is. I mean, he was really a wrestler, so it's not like it's just he's portraying an Olympian, but he's really got the
Yeah.
wrestling background.
Yeah, and then Batista felt like him having squash matches in OVW and in the early parts of WWE, he feels those type of matches held him back as opposed to solidifying his credibility.
Is that he had a stupid gimmick? That's what it is. He had
Yeah,
like it was those two
well,
things.
well, he he blames that more on the OVW gimmick more than him being Deacon Batista. He felt like him being the Leviathan in OVW, always having squash matches to build credibility as a monster, did more detriment than
That's
him
just even
being
a
a normal
stupid name.
guy. And yeah,
The Leviathan, like what? Like even Deacon Batista to me wasn't as bad, but they kind of put him in a holding cell with that shit. Like it wasn't much he just come in holding a box for Devon, for brother Devon, who's testify. Like that's what's selling it to testify. And then you just got Batista walking around with the box collecting donations. Like, come on. Like
no, but what's funny was he was more hurtful by him being the Leviathan more than being Deacon Batista,
yeah, because I mean
which kind
Leviathan
of
looked
made
like a damn fool.
Leviathan just had the chain around the neck, just
The guy
having
lined
90-second squash matches. He
yeah.
felt like they were Goldberging him.
He was on some fucking dominatrix shit, like fucking a brolic. Like you should remember how Undertaker was on some Ministry of Darkness. I feel like Undertaker's probably like one of the only people I've seen that could pull that dark side off and not look foolish. Like some people try to do that dark side shit and they just go too dark with it, and it look kind of like you look a little foolish. Like the Undertaker hit it very well, even when he would wear his hoods, even when Undertaker probably did wear a little guile on and put the little fake drip. Remember when he used to put the fake teardrop?
Little teardrops.
Yeah,
Like
like
you got some
nice
bodies.
bodies. Like, but he owned that shit. And if you don't own it, if you don't believe in it, like he said, he didn't like the Leviathan shit, so it didn't work. You didn't really buy into it.
And Jim's argument was, well, if you felt that much about the gimmick itself, why don't you come out and say something about it then? My door was always open. Why don't you say, hey, I'm not rocking this gimmick. Could we, or I have some ideas for this gimmick. Could we try this?
Was Cena the prototype? Cena was the prototype in OVW, right?
Well, yeah, but Cena was always the type to where if you give me something, I'm gonna make it work.
That's what
Or
I'm
was
saying.
to where if you give me this, I'm gonna make it work. Cornette feels like what Batista specifically was, he was waiting to be told what to do.
Batista's
Where
like
everyone
the
else,
nicest one out of them. Like I fuck with
where,
Batista. He's not the nicest one
yeah,
out
so
of them.
well, he's waiting for him to do. Whereas everyone else was like, I'll make this work. So I mean,
Once you
it's
get
always
past the character, like his in-ring style, he just got the spine buster and then the Batista bomb. That was like, and then developed the spear down the road somehow. Like,
yeah, but then again, like if you're a big look at Brock, German suplex F5,
but he does those shit. Like
Hulk
Batista,
Hogan body
spine
slam
buster
leg
was
drop.
mean. Batista's spine buster was mean, and his Batista bomb was fire. But like you said about the Germans, at least Brock made something out the Germans. Suplex City, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said,
But let's say you make the most of what you got. Whereas, like, yeah, he puts it like you're waiting for me to tell you what to do. It's like you're a grown ass man. You're allowed to think on the fly.
yeah, like fucking yeah. I don't know who complained about seeing Brock Lesnar deliver 15 German suplexes to Cena. Because from what I remember, everybody fucking loved it.
No one complained about it. They complained, or Jericho complained because Brock gave Orton those elbows.
Yep. Which that shit was crazy. Even if Randy agreed
And
to
Jericho felt like everyone should have been told about those elbows.
Cause that's like, let's say we acting or filming a movie or some shit, and I'm like, yo, you could lay a punch on me, and then you just come through and knock me out. Like, nigga, I say you could hit a punch. I ain't say you could knock me out. Like, what are you doing? Like, so I don't know. It's different strokes for different folks. Maybe Randy was pissed. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he knew shit happens. Like sometimes, damn, Brock took it a little too far, but I know he probably didn't mean to do it. But you know, I feel like Batista, he really benefited from the evolution shit, because when you look at his no pun intended when using the word, but when you look at his evolution of his character, it's like, okay, you was kind of non-charismatic.
Yeah.
You was just there though. Like literally, you was just as Deacon Batista, you was Cena's first appearance, motherfucker was ruthless aggression.
And then different angle. Randy Orton, I'm a legend killer.
Yeah.
Tom Benjamin, I'm the gold standard. I'm gonna beat Triple H back-to-back weeks on Raw.
They came out doing shit in their first. Brock Lesnar defeating legends, but just
whereas
like,
Batista, it took Randy Orton getting kicked out, and we introduced the thumbs up, thumbs down to get something out of Batista.
That ass though, it really took that. And then I'm gonna be honest, I really started liking Batista when he went away from Evolution, because now we really got to see what he can do on his own.
Yes, sir.
Then he started developing his entrance, like you see, I was like, okay, now he's coming into his own. But
a noted entrance, if you ask me.
Yeah, nah, that entrance is one of those, and his song, both of those shit. So it's like,
shout out to Saliva.
He got it later on down the road, but in that moment, what I'm saying is, in that moment, I can see why Randy Orton, the son of Cowboy Bob Orton, pushed. I can see why Cena, the prototype, his physical Brock Lesnar coming out of Minnesota. I can see why those guys were pushed. I don't know what was Batista's background, but you got guys with real collegiate background.
The story that Flair and Triple H discovered Batista while he was bouncing for a strip club or something like that.
Yeah, so
and Batista was 6'6", damn near 400 pounds, just yoked to the gills, hair halfway down to his ass.
Yeah, so you bringing in a guy that with no, like, at least what I'm trying to say is Brock, Shelton, they got the footwork from doing collegiate wrestling. All they got to pick up is the
Cena had the football player background like a Roman Reigns.
Some more footwork. Randy, again, born into the business.
The God-given ability.
Yeah, like
JBO famously said, if you want to go into a territory, build from scratch the perfect wrestler, it's going to be Randy Orton. Triple H said he's so damn good, he don't even know it.
Randy Orton was always one of my favorites.
Everyone said that Randy Orton does everything so well, like he's not even trying. It's just so flawless.
That's why I always
when he picks up on day one, it takes some folk anywhere from 6 months to a year to figure out. He's got a day one.
Hell, even if you remember when his rookie year, right? He got injured, shoulder something. He found the way to be a troll and come through with the Randy Orton reports or whatever, and they'll show him on the screen. Like he found ways to still be active. So he understood, like you said, he understood it very early on. But there also layers to that
He
shit.
never understood, but everyone's like, "Oh no, he got it."
Yeah, right. Like he didn't know, but he's just doing shit because he's active. Like, all right, boom, boom. As to where, like you said, maybe a Batista was waiting for that.
That direction. Everyone's like, "Just be you."
Mm-hmm.
And he never caught on to it, maybe. But is he a Hall of Famer in my eyes? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he's definitely created moments, held
Oh, several
championships.
moments from now. I don't mean to use this in this disruptive manner, but just much like Ray, how he was affected by Eddie's passing, and because it was like once Eddie passed, he stepped himself up because he felt like he was forced to step his game up, and we saw a more pure product of what we know as the Animal Batista. He had one more sense of free will out of him. Even before that, when he was tagging with Eddie, like you could tell Eddie kind of shows rules and hey, loosen up a bit, big man. Like you're good. Just chill. You don't gotta stress about this, stress about that. Just if you know you got it, you know you got it.
It's just at that time though, I'm not gonna lie. I give all the talent, all those guys. The competition was amazing. You got Triple H, Undertaker, Brock, Rock, Austin.
Big Show, Kane, Mark Henry, RVD, Randy Orton, John Cena,
Jericho.
Haas, Benjamin, Mysterio, Jericho, Edge.
Like
You can go down each roster and just find bona fide studs and certified G's.
for real, like the man, the roster was amazing. I mean, it's still amazing now, but like back then, it was so many surefire Hall of Famers that
Yeah,
like
yeah. That's what we had back in the day was nothing short of special. That it's sad that it's only getting appreciated now
mhm.
when it should have been equally appreciated back in the day. Like you said, we never really know what we got till it's gone.
And I feel like that's kind of why I guess Cena kind of giving the heads up that this might because we just never know. Everybody been on the Cena sucks stuff for the last few years, and it's like
I'm still not ready for that retirement tour, to be honest.
that for real. Me either. Like for so many years, people been like Cena sucks, so it kind of diluted and watered down whatever good years we had from him, and now we're here.
It's even he even embraced the let's go see the Cena sucks and all that. Like he loved that. And it's like now that he's announced his imminent retirement tour, like you're now telling us, hey, we have to get ready for this because like the t-shirt says, the last time is now. I
Not
don't know
gonna
about you,
lie,
but about half of the shows, I might be choked up on some G shit.
bro. This feels very much like the Kobe retirement tour when I couldn't believe it. Like
Uh-huh.
I was,
You're joking, right?
yeah, Kobe was what only 36, maybe 38 when he retired. Like, look, LeBron is playing. He's fucking 40, about to be 41. I couldn't believe. So when like you hearing that type of the retirement tour, nah, I can't believe. And we grew up with these dudes, right? Like we grew up with a Kobe Bryant, a John Cena. So
Like when you and I were growing up, we caught the tail end of Jordan, but for the majority of our life, it was Kobe.
yep,
Yeah, folks don't argue LeBron, whatever, but no. Kobe is up here. LeBron's maybe like right here.
that's what we
Let's
got
just
to
be honest. Let's be honest. Like Kobe hit certain feats that you just can't replicate, especially at least right now. Like even when Kobe first debuted, like one of his first games was against Jordan in prime Jordan, and Kobe just puffed out his chest and oh, I want the smoke.
And even so, the league hasn't seen a competitor like that yet.
Well, now a lot of folks are hoping
Blossoming.
a lot of folks are hoping that Ant-Man might be the one.
He's a beast.
Folks thought Jimmy Butler was the one. Folks thought LeBron was the one, but no one's ever actually filled the shoes. That's why Kobe and MJ are up here. Everyone else is somewhere over here. Who's
Yeah.
gonna elevate from the pack?
That killer
Much back in
mentality.
today's day and age, who aside from Flair, who hasn't made titles? Cena. You have Orton somewhere up here. You have Triple H somewhere up here. Everyone else is down here. Like,
No,
who's gonna jump from the pack?
and I'm glad you say Cena embraced the let's go Cena suck stuff, because very much what we touched on earlier. How is Cody gonna respond to what's going on with him and Roman right now?
We're seeing it now. It's like he's caught off guard. It's obvious that he didn't expect things to be as extreme as they are, no pun intended. And again, folks, the folks that wanted Cody to win at Mania, okay, great. He's had a match with AJ that a few AJ that was lackluster. He had the stuff with KO. He had the stuff with Solo. Did he have any matches with Logan Paul or no?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He had a match with Logan Paul. That's it.
All right, so I feel like Cena stuck to his guns. Remember when he's like, he's not going heel. Cody kind of been sharing the same sentiment for the last 2 years.
Yeah, but again, at some point in time, it's where like if stuff's not working, either you got to elevate yourself or just
Right? Is he willing
like
to accept what Cena went through for the last few years?
Cena went through it for the better part of 10 years.
That's a long time. That's a very long time.
Because think about it, he went into Philly against RVD, the world's most hated man. He Money in the Bank 2011 in Chicago went in, the world's most hated man. Toronto against Edge, the world's most hated man.
And Cena's always been
So,
entertaining on the mic. I just feel like he slowed down once he became a face, because he couldn't. He wasn't saying as much of the same edgy stuff he said when he was a heel.
yeah,
But
and
he's
then
always
also
been
like
money on the mic.
if we're going to compare Cody and Cena, not all folks are built like that. It's just it is. What it is. Like some folks are cut from that cloth. Some folks got to work for it. Others just it's an unreachable feat.
Man, but let's get back into the show, 'cause I think there's like two things that we didn't
There's
cover.
there's a little more we can cover on that before I go into ripping into AEW.
Yeah, we had the Naomi and Bailey. We had, I think, talked about this off the Naomi and Bailey versus Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton tornado tag team match.
It was
The
an amazing match.
loser lead, and when I say the loser, if Naomi or Bailey are pinned, the loser leaves SmackDown.
Time out. If you caught what Nia said talking to Tiffany before they got their entrance, she referenced that Tiffany should take the pinfall and leave SmackDown.
Yeah, actually, you're right, because I did hear, I think Corey Graves say we could see Tiffy time on Mondays.
And then when Nia doubled down on that, because again, I'm probably gonna watch the SmackDown review tomorrow evening, so we could probably double back on some stuff on Monday. But yeah, I thought that was very telling because again, when Nia said that, the audience that was around me was just like, "What?"
Yeah, no, now that you mentioned that, I do remember.
That applies for you guys too.
Yeah, and I wasn't a fan of Nia Jax coming at Tiffy right there at that moment. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, I loved it.
Did you? I feel like it's going. I wanted to see them more go for the championship title, the tag team.
Because similar to the Cody heel stuff, with Nia, it's one of those. All right, I'm gonna get you before you can get me.
Right.
And again, like I love it because especially Tiffany wore on her face too. It's like you'd be okay with me leaving you here too? Like really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're doing? And as we saw in this tag match, I'm sure there was a certain spot to where Tiffany took out Nia and holding on to Nia saying, "I'm sorry, my bad, I fucked up, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." But that match was incredible, and like I told you off air, the crowd was very unsure about Naomi.
When she pulled Bailey off of Tiffy, I got upset. So I understand the crowd. I
That
was
took the air out of the room.
yeah. I'm with you, dude, because I had the same reaction. I said no way. Like, come on.
A lot of folks thought like Naomi was gonna tag Bailey and let Bailey take the pinfall. That would have been something. That way Bailey goes bye bye. But like at least the crowd tonight, their accepted winners were either gonna be Bailey or Tiffany. Now, when we got to the finish of the match, it appeared that Bailey and Naomi pinned Nia.
This is one of
That
those
was
weird
something.
stipulation matches that I found I enjoyed it because they got to play around a lot in this match with some of the things they were
Yeah,
doing.
but it also basically told us that they had no real plan from to begin with.
Yeah, they could have just went and said, "Yo, we're gonna have a
You could have easily went either way and stuck with it. Instead, this is where listening to us fans has some kind of detriment to you as the bookers because we're gonna react to this, that, and the third, and it's gonna leave you with what we may ultimately be getting, which would be a triple threat match. Now we're gonna have a number one contenders match coming up before the PLE, but who's to say that won't lead to an ultimate triple threat? Maybe even fatal four way, which again, back to square one, what was all this for?
One could say
So that
because Nia Jax wanted to send one of these away for trying to go for her title, but now it ends up backfiring on her.
yeah, and where does that leave Tiffany?
I feel like the story that's being told for me, I could be wrong, but I feel like Nia Jax is, she's been on a power play. She done beat Jade, Bianca, Naomi. She done beat all of them to get to the championship match at SummerSlam. She won the championship. Now that she has the championship, I feel like she's just throwing too much weight around, and it's gonna end up costing her with Tiffy. And Tiffy going, I feel like we all kind of seen at this point Tiffy cashing in on her, but it's becoming too now. I feel like it's becoming too.
They're making it blatantly obvious that
Yeah,
Tiffany's going to cash in
yeah,
on her.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it have felt more of a surprise if they were more friendly with each other to me. If they're more on good terms, the cash in feels more of a surprise. Now that Nia Jax is throwing her weight around, it's like, well, yeah, I wouldn't even blame Tiffy if she want to cash in on her now.
Hmm.
Like, I don't even want her to go to Raw to cash in no more. I want her to cash in on Tiffy now. I mean, on Nia because Nia's being a jerk to her.
Yep.
But if they was on good terms, I wouldn't feel that way. I would actually want to see their partnership, see both of them as champions, one on Raw, one on SmackDown.
Could have got a lot more mileage out of this feud. Not to say they still can't, but with the route that they're taking, they're making certain things a little bit too obvious for my comfort.
And then if you play this the wrong way, I think the crowd would still be behind Tiffy, but you can make her character
It,
look
it, it, it,
foolish.
it won't be as appreciative. It could do more harm than good. It could also kill her and Nia in the process. So they're going down the road to where they're gonna have to be very careful what their next moves are.
Because what's the chance that we see Tiffy try to cash in on Naya and actually lose?
Then she would be the first woman to not have a successful cash in.
Mm.
She would fall in the Damian Priest John Cena category.
Damian cashed in though, right? He got his own WrestleMania. You mean somebody else?
No, Sandow, yeah, Sandow.
Oh, okay, Damian. Yeah, yep. Sandown, Cena. Mm.
She was holding back. Now I'm saying Tiffany can't recover from that, but it's like all the work we built up prior to that, you're just gonna just tear it all
Because
down like it was nothing.
like I said, it's becoming a little too. You just said it too. It's becoming too obvious. Where Nia Jax got a lot going. She got Michin on her bad side. She got Bailey and Naomi now on her bad side. She throwing jabs at Tiffy like you can go. You could take that pinfall. You can go.
You still gotta think about maybe a Jade or Bianca too,
Still
maybe a
got her.
Charlotte, maybe a Shotzi, maybe a Becky Lynch. That's a whole roster right there.
Nia Jax got a lot to worry about, and then still got to worry about Tiffy with that Money in the Bank. So it's becoming like, I think what would be more surprising is if we keep Tiffy completely away that night, right? Give us some fake news. Oh, Tiffy can't make it to the arena, whatever the case is.
I think we're a little late for that. Yeah, we're definitely too late for all that.
Because it's like, yeah, it's becoming like we know. And now, if they could surprise us, if Tiffy, this is why I said they could make her character look foolish, as if wait, she's accepting all of this treatment from Nia Jackson, just doesn't cash in on her. And I feel like from what I've seen from Tiffy before, she's more of a boss than that. So I'll be surprised to see her character go down that route. To
Because
just
again,
accept.
will it do more harm than good?
And for her in that case, I think the crowd was still just like some people are still behind some of these other talents, but they don't get pushed as well. Like this, I'm pretty sure there's a Zelina Vega crowd out there that enjoys seeing her, but she just hasn't held the gold. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see with them. They got to treat that very delicate. They got to be careful with that. Then we get the main event. How did people in Sacramento feel about the main event?
People were very happy that the Bloodline beat the piss out of DIY.
So was I. I think I should go to
Now,
Sacramento. I think me and the people in Sacramento will get along because this seems just like me and them had the same reaction to everything, brother. Like for real, this is crazy.
now, I'm gonna be honest. I did not. No one expected the Street Profits to answer KO's call to aid. That was very refreshing. Now, again, some folks could talk on, but I certainly didn't see it coming. The crowd was shocked by it.
I felt split about it.
How so?
Only because I seen profits are coming back because the Bloodline interfered in the match on NXT.
Okay.
But they are the Street Profits. So when they came in for the save, I was like, all right, I'm back on. And because I know they're gonna put on a great match too. So I'm just like, I'm on board. I'm on board again. But
A lot of folks wanted Jimmy and or Randy to pop out, but it's like that'd have been fine. But what else? Like say Randy comes out, then what else? What do you got for that? Do a
yeah,
handicap match?
yeah.
A lot of folks thought it could have been maybe a Randy or Cody or something like that, which would have been, I guess.
I mean, I guess it's a good way to still keep the profits in the they are in the main event of the match. Like,
And on top of that, like more specifically, the chemistry between Montez and Tama is incredible. You
Who would have
get
thought?
those two in a singles match down the road, that too is going to be a money fight.
Nah, yeah, I would have never thought that.
Montez got that charisma. Tama got that charisma. Both of them are respectively good on the mic. Both bell to bell can go the best of them.
When the match came to its conclusion at the end, did the crowd erupt for Cody Rhodes?
Oh, the crowd erupted for Cody.
That's nice to know. Okay, so
They unloaded on top of that, but also right before that, they were kind of thrown off by the match being thrown out
yeah, that threw me off. Again,
because some folks thought that maybe Tonga or Jacob rang the bell as a little distraction, or whatever. Some thought maybe Solo came out and rang the bell as a distraction,
but all I seen
but
was somebody
no.
get thrown into the steps, man.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
and then folks were like, "Wait, that's it? Like what?"
What? So the ref felt like he couldn't have control of this match no more, so he
Yeah,
just called it.
yeah,
So
yeah. So that kind of like ruined it a little bit. And then you saw everyone run rough. Right? You saw them attempt to shield bomb several times on KO, and then Cody comes out. The place just goes ballistic. Aside from KO, that might have been the loudest pop of the night. But also, like everyone wanted Roman. That whole match, everyone was chanting one thing: OTC. Whether it was KO or the Prophets in the ring, whether it was the Gorillas or Jacob in the ring, they were all chanting OTC damn near the whole match.
I heard it. It's just, to me, I'm marveled at the fact of Roman Reigns really, his stardom, I think it's more now than it was when he was holding the championship, just because of how the fans want him so much at this point. You had us loyalists that were rocking with the tribal chief, throwing out ones up when he was heel, right? He had a fan base then. But this
Real
this
quick,
feels different.
a lot of folks in Sacramento were throwing up the ones when Jacob was throwing up the ones. Not when Tom was doing it. They were throwing them up when Jacob was throwing up the one.
Mm.
I don't know if we should read into that or not, but just my observation.
More of a reason why I want to see Jacob versus Solo. I always had suspicion that like either Solo was going to play his cards wrong with Jacob, or Jacob was going to get impatient with Solo, as how Solo got impatient with Roman.
Or, like we said on top of that, who's really the puppet master with this bloodline? Is it Solo? Is it Jacob? Is it The Rock?
Mm-hmm.
It may be a while before we actually know who's been pulling the strings the whole time. Is Solo been acting on his own? Is Rock called the tribal chief? Is Solo or Jig saying that the tribal chief? We don't know.
And I'm gonna be honest, as so much time goes by, and after we seen what we seen tonight with Roman and Cody on that field, something I don't even have to see Cody versus The Rock no more. Like we can I don't want to be disrespectful, but we can kind of like
it's one of Cody and The Rock is on one side over here.
right.
Roman and Cody 3 is way the fuck over here. It's got nothing to do with the other.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That with the championship part, like if I wouldn't be mad if Roman actually captures it from Cody, and then we eventually push Cody to the side and get into the Roman Rock stuff. I wouldn't be mad if that happened, because I feel like Roman has regained control of the popularity between them, and now we can move back onto the what was supposed to happen before, instead of continuing to pivot for the fandom that was making us change things in the first place.
What if The Rock interferes in Bad Blood?
That'd be fucking. Yeah, the people in
And
Georgia gonna get their money for
that changes everything.
everything.
Because he could target Cody, he could target Roman, he could even target Solo. But the minute we say it's 15, 20 minutes into the match, we hear it's just a man. The roof's gonna blow up.
Just when we thought we had all the answers, they changed all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
And this could be a very liable possibility, much like it could be at War Games as well, much like Crown Jewel. We could even see that The Rock pull up at NXT because his fucking daughter's the GM. Folks, forget about that.
I thought it was interesting to see her back on the like. I don't know how often she's on the screen, but you know they had her in the ring about. I think it was last week.
Oh, at NXT, she's getting as much screen time as the main event, folks.
Yeah.
She's getting a lot. She's been getting a lot of screen time since she emerged as the GM for NXT, and she's only gotten more confident.
Now, if he shows up in Bad Blood, I mean, again, more seeds, more layers.
You
But
talk about blowing again. Let's talk about blowing the roof off the joint.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Cody and what he's done, and you know, but I think to me personally, once they get past, like, I'm really intrigued to see where Roman can, like, again, we say the chase, right? So I'm willing to see where can Roman take this next. Can there be a next level to what he
So
already
so
done?
hear me out. Say Rock comes out of Bad Blood. At Survivor Series, you could have Cody versus Rock, but in the War Games match, you could have Bloodline versus Bloodline.
Mm,
You could have Zilla emerge, maybe. You could maybe have Hikuleo emerge. At this, if Rock comes at Bad Blood, I don't even care if you bring in Jimmy J and Sammy together again. But if that were to be the case, I would anticipate that someone from this new bloodline would assist The Rock in beating Cody. So come WrestleMania season, you could have Roman Rock for the belt. Roman beats Rock, and then night two, you have Roman Cody 3.
I like that. I also got my wild thing. I think Cody going to do the heel turn at War Games.
Yeah, it could be War Games, could be as early as Survivor or Bad Blood, could be Crown Jewel,
Now, the reason I say that
could be
is
a random SmackDown.
right. The reason I say that is because he comes out to help Kevin Owens tonight. Somehow, let's say he convinces Kevin Owens to be part of the War Games team between him, Roman. It'll be Kevin Owens, Cody, Roman, and then Cody will possibly get Randy Orton in there. And then he costs all of them the loss by doing something to Roman Reigns. And all of them looking at him like, what are you doing? Randy and Kevin looking at Cody, what are you doing? And then that starts some shit right there. It's a lot of shit we can get depending on how bad blood goes. A random episode of a Friday SmackDown goes, like you saying. It's a lot of right now. It's a good time. It's a good time to be tuned
So
in.
let me ask you this. Would it be a bigger deal if we have Cody and Rock at War Games or at Crown Jewel or Rumble? Which would be the bigger fight feel?
Rumble. Crown Jewel,
So
it'll feel
so
like
so so hold on
prize fight.
hear me out, hear me out. You have Cody versus KO at War Games potentially. You have Cody Roman at Crown Jewel. All to culminate in the inevitable heel turn of Cody.
Okay.
were leading from Thanksgiving into, because remember, WWE, the main roster is not getting a PLE in December. After Crown Jewel, that's it for the year. Well, that might be early December, but still, like after that, that's it. So Rumble won't be until February. From Crown Jewel to Rumble, that will ultimately be the transition of, one could argue, Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader.
I
To
want
where,
to see how
to where Cody feels like everybody sees Roman's back, everyone turned their backs against Cody, to where Cody can say, "You guys did this to me. You guys were never on board with my family having success. You guys are always against my family. We are the one true kingdom of professional wrestling. The Rhodes family are the cream of the crop as far as the wrestling royalty hierarchy."
I would
Roman
love to
was
see it.
Roman is ultimately, we can argue, he's been hand chosen by the people as the guy. That much has been certain since he's come back. Cody is trying to tell everyone he is the guy. Everyone's still siding with Roman. Cody sees that. Similar to Seth Rollins as well, Joker transformation. Everyone out there is telling lies. Only he knows the truth.
I mean, like I said, I would love to see it because it's getting a little stale for me to right now, and I can't appreciate like how I was saying appreciate Cena's run. I just feel like it was a little bit different because for me, um, again, we had the Vince era and we got the Trip era. Vince shit was more forced. I feel
Right.
like Triple H's era is a little bit more leniency and freedom to kind of do like be you, like you were saying earlier about being you. Now, I think for Cody, it's a big adjustment period. What are you going to do right now? Are you going to stick to your guns, or are you going to make that adjustment that's going to really take you to the top?
Or are you going to crumble under pressure?
And I think for him, it's right. And for him, it's happening in reverse. When Hogan and Rock fought, it was kind of like I heard people. I forgot what podcast interview I was listening to, but Hogan became face kind of off of that matchup because he was an NWO. He's supposed to be heel, but the folks loved what was going on so
They
much.
had, the older crowd already had that pre-established appreciation for him from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can even do Rock and Austin to 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
You can also throw in, what was it? What's another one? Edge and Cena, Edge and Orton. Edge and Orton respectively went in as the heels. They left that feud with Cena having an established level of appreciation.
Yep.
Same with Rock and Roman. It took them, us, most us fans hating Roman for being the guy who pushed me to the next Cena, for us to appreciate the an immaculate and unparalleled talent that is Brock fucking Lesnar.
And I think that's what sucks for Cody about his reign, that he hasn't fought the same tier of potential Hall of Famers that other
I
champions
wouldn't
have
go
fought.
that far. That's a little bit of an unfair assessment. You could, I mean, because I mean, you could say he can face Randy Orton, he can face whoever that's Hall of Fame caliber, but it's like it boils down to, if the crowd isn't buying what you're selling, then you got to switch something up. Whereas he's kind of had the same spiel since he's come back from AEW, and folks appear to be growing tired of that. It's like, okay, can you say anything else but this?
Yeah, because for me, what like when I
You
looked at
you say
Cena,
you say what do we want to talk about, and it's like we're telling you what we want to talk about. It's just you're choosing to be the same cookie cutter son bitch that came back a few years ago against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and nothing's changed. Much like we argue, or much like we claim, like with AEW guys, a lot of them, They're 5 years in. Nothing's changed with their character respectively. Whereas Cody now, nothing's really changed with his specific character.
And that's why in the ring he got to do something amazing, like them Cody cutters and that shit is cool, but like, and he's not even like considered one to be like the strongest, but like he got to find something real creative to do something special in the ring. Like Cena, he had the same
Or
gimmick, but
just stick to the figure four and then work on a slam or something later.
yeah, Cena was FUing, like he was giving an attitude adjustment to two dudes to the Big Show. Like you
Well,
had
Cena had unraveled strength. Orton, I don't know if you remember before he got the RKO, he did that move that MVP used to do that was a playmaker, or whatever called the overdrive,
yeah,
before he found the RKO.
shit was alright. I mean, but it's not
I,
very. It
I
don't
mean, I
look
mean,
very
I, I
effective.
mean, I mean, Cody can do the vertebrae, but it's like for obvious reasons, the higher ups are against it.
Hmm. Yeah, so yeah, he got to find like, cause I mean, even the crossroads is good, but when we speak about it, the oversaturation, some moves should just he got to have other moves. So when he executes that one, you know, is good night Irene. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Like I said, you have to have the figure four. I'm sure you can do other submission moves. Just do all that stuff. Do the old school stuff.
he done took the damn Kimura from Brock at one point too, right? Like he got that in the bag.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a sharpshooter. I'm sure he has a crossface.
Yeah, man. Like even Edge, right? Like for me, that's why I said what Cody and Solo did last week when Cody jumped off the cage. Those type of moments in WWE is kind of like what we need. Like he had that moment with Seth Rollins, the Hell in a Cell, the torn pec. I think that upped his stock. But then after that, it kind of was like it was forced. It was like
It went back to the same old Cody. Also, folks forget Cody has the move that was gifted by one of his mentors, the Alabama Slam.
mm-hmm.
Use that more often.
He be doing a
I
pedigree
mean,
from time to time.
yeah, you can do the pedigree, the Alabama Slam. Like Cody famously said, if he's wrestled you more than 5 times, or at least 5 times, he can do all your moves. Okay, there's other shit you got in the toolbox. Obviously, just busting bitches out. The Cody Cutter is does more harm to you than anything else. The Crossroads is a laughing stock, disrespectfully. Like, what else you got? You can't do the vertebrae
I'm
because
not even
someone in
gonna lie.
WWE.
The other move that is kind of like a spinoff. I guess his brother move Dustin when he drops on his back and then gives the uppercut. I'm not a fan of that either, to be honest. Like, it,
Well, that's probably more of an homage to his brother.
yeah, Dustin's move. That's all
With
I.
the little uppercut when he drops to his knees.
Yep, and but
He
he just
does
drops to
that.
his back. Yep.
Yeah, that's more of an homage, similar to when he does the bionic elbow. Like that part's fun. It's just when you're putting folks away, it's like you have this arsenal of a toolbox. You're using the same two tools. You got other shit to do. Just don't be afraid to use them.
Hmm.
Otherwise, stop going to interviews saying, "If I wrestle you 5 times, I can do all your moves, no questions asked." Stop saying that bullshit.
Yeah, I need to see something exciting from him. It's like again, like just talking about being in a stagnant area with your character. It's alright to be stagnant. There's people that played the greatest hits. We seen the Undertaker play the greatest hits for the last few years, but he
He's
got those
running the
goals.
risk of. I'm gonna say it for what it is. He's running the risk of being outclassed.
That's what's going on, though. That's really what's going on. Is we seeing Cena Roman again, and that's what made Roman elevate his shit. Like,
But fast forward now, more folks want to see Cena, Orton, Roman, Randy, Brock. Folks want to see Goldberg back in the ring.
People just want to see everybody back under the Triple H banner.
But again, much like we joke about AEW, it's like, what has Cody done different to elevate himself?
I mean, again, like I
Next to
said, for
nothing.
me, I mean, in my opinion, after the torn pec moment showed badassery. That should have been the moment you capitalize off of when you come back on some like.
And he should have came back more gritty, more rugged, something like that.
Yeah,
And then this could be solved as quick as, or as simple as bringing the mustache back, come back with a stubble, having more of, for lack of a better term, a Moxley-esque attitude. Like, I'm here to fuck shit up. I'm here to make money, but I'm here just to do damage because I know I'm that dude.
yeah,
What is it
like
now? What is he's doing the same shit he did when he left. Undeniable to undesirable to undisputed. Okay, you've been saying this shit for years. What else do you got?
and he got it. He just don't want to give it.
I don't know if he doesn't want to get it. It's just he's so accustomed to all this and that, and he's seeing that, or he noticed back then that Cena was hyper focused on being one for the people, one for the kids. He's afraid to change it, but it's like, dude, if you really want to break shit down, folks want to see Roman in that role. We want to see you as the heel, you as the anti-hero, whatever the fuck. We want to see you as the Joker to his Batman, you as the Lex Luthor to his Superman, you as the Sabretooth to his Wolverine. We want to see what more layers you have. We know you have them, but we shouldn't have to call Stephen Amell to get that shit out of you.
Right. Yeah. But again, like I said earlier, weird things need to happen. And I personally feel Cody needs to go through this adversity for it to give him that spark to take it to the next level. The same spark that he faced when they booked him as Stardust, and he said, "Nah, I'm better than this." He's gonna realize that he needs to elevate his game to keep up with what's going on. And if he
And
doesn't, he's just gonna get left behind. That's just the reality of it. He's gonna fall into place. You know what I mean? He had a good 2-year run with the payback.
personally, I love Stardust. I love that. I love the stuff he had with the Ascension. I loved all of that because to me it was something different. But again, he felt what he felt about it. Vince felt what he felt about it. So that is what it is. But something like that, just add more layers to your game. That way, you create more interest for yourself. Don't be so cookie cutter. It's okay to think outside the box. It's okay to be a little bit extra. I mean, shit. We're what 20 something years later. Boogeyman is still one of the most popular characters in all of WWE. Right or wrong?
I mean, you could put him out there in a Royal Rumble anytime. Get a reaction.
You can put him out there. You could put a Hornswoggle out there. I mean, shit. Look at JBL now, back on the Indies, quote unquote recruiting.
And that's the turn that I'm starting to have, like the appreciation for, I guess, this fickle, you know what I'm saying, mindset that I always call out, because I always have a room for legends. I grew up with legends. Like, again, when I was watching Raw in 1995, 96, 97, they always promoted the legends. They always gave us a rundown of the
But
history of the game. But we
but
so
on
quick
top
to
of
push
that,
people
like,
out now.
but for some legends, we as fans witness the grind that they put going into that. So we look at like a JBL, look at a Rock, look at a Lesnar, a Goldberg, a Rob Van Dam, a Booker T. Look at AEW, the historians. Nigel McGuinness. I'll get to that in a moment. But you have all these guys that have this history of a library behind them. You have no choice but to respect them. There's no other options because we know they are about it, about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it's earned. Not it was given to them. Like they earned every inch of respect that they have. And like I said, look, like I said, JBL now. He's been on just about every promotion, probably, but or in every country, probably but Japan right about now. I mean, has he been on a Japan show yet? I don't think so. But he's been in AAA, CMLL, TNA, MLW, GCW. He's been all over the world, and for those that may not have seen him years ago, we see him now. The fans now are appreciating him for now, whereas us older fans are saying, "Hey, look what OG was doing back in the day, and look at him now. Like he's still at it. Look, similar to a Billy Gunn or a Jeff Jarrett in AEW. Like they're guys that are in their 60s that are working better than folks that are in their late teens, early 20s.
Yeah,
It's
there's some
crazy.
people that should be out there, and then there's some that like I was just watching the Outsiders on TNA. Like they had like these old disco outfits on. I don't know if you remember that when they had the
And the Outsiders are probably the most popular tag team in AEW right now because of that throw field, which is again, it's FTR had that once upon a time. Yet fast forward to now, it's like, I mean, you can argue that the Outrunners are more popular than FTR right now.
I think there's a like you know how everything that's old is new. You know, you ever heard that saying?
Yep.
And I feel like that it's spinning the block, like that nostalgia, kind of like FTR. They had that kind of old school gimmick, like their entrance was it had that old '80s feel. But these Outrunners, they really look like an '80s team though. Like you know what I'm
No,
saying?
but like I said, FTR had that look too once upon a time, and then whatever changed, changed.
CM Punk changed them. Not gonna lie, that's what I feel like. They started dressing like Punk, matching outfits with Punk. One of the Bret Hart tributes. They
I
started.
think that one could argue that might have been the way around too.
Yeah, it might. They definitely had influence on each other. I feel it was a lot
But
going on. There was a lot of good cosplay. Like I know it's fun for them, but then it goes away from like they just become lost in the shuffle. I guess like people love them. People.
I think in FTR's case, they tried. I mean, they got in trouble for showing allegiance to Punk, which is what got them in the doghouse, much like everyone else there, like a Ricky Starks with Cody, for example.
Yeah.
But there's a long list of guys
Honestly, if
that are
I was
that
any of
fall in
those
that what
guys,
if category.
if I was any of those guys, and maybe it's like you do your best to avoid the situation and try to go out there and continue to perform, which I'm pretty sure they do. But if it's that deep, then they need, well, for some of them, return home, and for some, find a new home. You know what I mean? If they will,
Well,
if FTR willing to work under WWE,
as far as well, maybe they want to, but Tony Khan's is saying, "Hey, I'll pay you four times what I was paying you beforehand, and not to stay."
that's when you gotta. It's like
Look at Buddy Murphy.
no, for real. It's a decision that you make, right? You can either sign the big bag, but not really get used, and people don't really know you like that unless you in this just in this circuit of like the community, right? And then you could go to the WWE side now where you damn near getting unlimited resources to connect. They just sending you places because like look like Titus O'Neil. I'm pretty sure he gets to do a lot of dope shit, but they don't really need him to wrestle.
Right.
So it's like you could still either get used if you you still usable, or find other shit to do. Become a producer. Look at Robert Roode. He's injured and he's producing some hella good shit. Jason Jordan too, producing
Yeah,
some hella
'cause
good
I
shit.
know with Titus, they made him like an international ambassador.
Yeah, like I mean, and again, you can either get that big bag and arguably be in situations where WWE is well established. They're not really
Right.
at a point where like look at what happened with Vince. They was about to lose a partnership with Slim Jim. They said, "Oh no, we not. Oh no, we not. We're, Vince is out of here. What we losing now? Okay,
Yeah, the food was like, no, he ain't with us no more.
yeah, like we're not losing. We got y'all. We doing what's best for business. Remember that line was best for business. They really doing that. So it's like AEW, they lose sponsorships, but that I mean I don't know how often, but that one time the pizza cutter stuff, and I don't
Oh,
even know if they were
yeah,
able to
like
get
with
it back.
Nick Gage when they were playing the Domino's commercial.
Yeah, you don't really hear that too often with WWE. Like it,
I
you know
mean,
what I'm
the
saying?
last time we heard that was with that little that Walking Dead match, which was what 7, 8 years ago,
Yeah, and that was
which is
just
again, which is again the Vince stuff.
yup, terrible. So I don't know. For me, I always feel like the exposure and the publicity that you can gain from working with WWE can be way more valuable long term than accepting this bag for the arguable short term, long term, depending what contract you sign. Some people could look at
Oh,
5 years like a breeze, like, oh no, that's short term. Some look at it like a life. Like for me, I look at 5 years like, what if you break your leg and you're not the same athlete after that year breaking your leg? Like anything could happen in 5 years in my eyes.
most definitely.
Yeah, so I don't take 5 years for granted and say, well, yeah, I'm gonna just sign this bag, and then okay, let's say in those you get paid this big bag and you're not even managing your money correctly because you're just taking everything for granted. Like it's just it's a mindset, and
Some
yeah,
folks are like that too.
yeah, because everybody got different spending habits, and some people get the bag and run right through it, and then you hear stories how they're broke, and you be like, how this man has so much money,
Mhm.
and it
You hear about Adrian Peterson?
what he's broke too.
Not only that, I
That's a
guess he allegedly took out a loan for his birthday party and didn't pay the loan back. So I guess banks want him for like 20 million or something like that.
wow. It was only a few years ago, and this is right after his NFL career. The last I heard of Adrian Peterson, like he had a situation with his son that he like I guess he was
Oh
being
yeah, he
abusive.
he he beat his son and his nephew, something like that.
Yeah, so I
No,
know
but yeah,
he was in a bad
yeah,
place. Like,
but folks were surprised he was hurting like that. And it's like, bro, like, wait a minute, you made over 100 million in the NFL.
yeah, you
Where did
hold
all that
records
money
for
go?
fighting. Yeah, like you was that guy.
Yeah, you was him.
Yeah, and that's my point. Like some like just because people are getting money, not everybody's gonna be a LeBron James, an entrepreneur with their money, or Kobe Bryant when he was alive, or just whoever else just invested their money in the right way. Look at Shaq. He took his NBA resources and he's on everything. General
Right.
State Insurance, Papa John's, Gold Gold Bond lotion, like you name it, that guy's on it. It's like, and that's what I'm saying you can do with WWE. Uh, Cody attempted to do it with AEW where he had his own show, but you don't see
Yeah.
everybody getting their own show out of AEW. You don't see that in WWE. Montez and Bianca got their show. WWE had
Hmm.
Total Divas. Nikki Bella was on a few shows on Spike TV.
She's on More
Armageddon.
Rescue with Blake Shelton.
Yeah, like the resources long term, I think are valuable when you can put that on your name. Yo, I've worked for WWE for 10 years without a hitch. They can vouch and say I've been to work on time, early, first one in, last one out, no complaints, no hiccups. That's a blessing when you can use that kind of reference.
Now, I'm sure she's got other stuff on her plate with her divorce coming, which hopefully she's all well with that.
Right. Terrible thing to go through right there. Whatever they got
But I
going
think
on.
last I heard with her, I guess they're not fond that they're not allowed to use the last name Bella.
Yeah, that's WWE IP, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think at Wembley they announced Brie Bella as Brie Danielson or something like that.
That's funny. I mean, but yeah, I guess maybe not to use the Garcia name or just whatever's clever, right? She's taking her husband's name. Not surprised by that. It's just to me, it's again unique. Like I know we was gonna touch on Ricochet before we get out of here. Like I seen what he's doing over there, and to me, it's just like, bro, you could have just stayed in WWE, bro. I don't even know who was that he did that to, bro. Like who was he wrestling with? Like
I know Wednesday he had a match against Mortals, formerly Black Taurus of CMLL. So
bro,
Tony Khan's doing the missing man stuff of
bro, I don't care.
rebranding folks so he make money off of them.
I don't care about that, bro. You know who I would have been entertained? Ricochet versus Andrade for the Speed Championship again.
Uh-huh.
Like we're gonna do that,
Ricochet versus Ilya. Ricochet versus Mello.
right?
Ricochet versus Braun. Ricochet versus Jey Uso.
Because I'm not going to again. That's a good example too. Ricochet, you left WWE and you got a chance to show your creative creativity.
I get it. You want to have fun and all that, but it's like you're making just as much money having fun and creating programs with the next generation. But now you're possibly making Roman Reigns money just to do bullshit and stay your ass at home and
Okay.
let Will
So
Ospreay just dog walk your ass on the mic.
when I was speaking of Brock Lesnar's, Kobe Bryant's, that killer mentality is lost. And a dude like Roman Reigns, he found a way to channel it. Like I get like a dude like him. He played football. He's always had the killer mind state, but he just found a way to unlock that shit to the next level. Just like Kobe, he didn't win a championship his first year. Neither did Jordan. Most of these guys don't win their first year, but they grow, they develop, they mature, and they take themselves to the next level. You know what I'm saying? They mature, they take themselves to the next level, they grow. And that's what it's about. I don't see much of that from some of these the town
Well, I think some folks don't have that next level.
and that's where the reality sets in, and we start to see that as fans that might have pushed for this. Like, yo, no, this guy deserves the moment. This girl deserves the moment.
So
And then they
someone
leave.
Ricochet popped up on my feed earlier where like someone said that Ricochet never got any moments to speak out on the mic, and someone put up like 10 screenshots of Ricochet having promo segments.
Oh, yeah, I've always said that about Ricochet. Whenever he speaks, he sounds out of breath because of his entrance. I've always said that about Ricochet when I hear him speak on the mic. It sounds like he's a little gas from his entrance. He got to do the flip off the ropes and get the crowd hype and stuff. It's kind of like you see the same thing with Jey Uso a little bit. Like when he does he gets on the mic, he's a little like winded, but he's at least still hype. He's wild charismatic. So it's a difference.
All of his promos, to be honest.
Yeah. And Ricochet just wasn't charismatic. So you being out of breath and not being charismatic kind of hurt the promo. it didn't make it any believable. So yeah, I mean, he definitely had chances on the microphone. They gave him the championship, not a world championship, but they've given him the United States championship.
Also, he was U.S. champion. He was North American champion.
Yeah, like, and again
Could have
through
been
all
IC champion by now, maybe if Braun wasn't going to be the champion.
the one time I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was gonna do something was when he started wearing like the cut off jean jacket, the vest jean jacket, and the jean. I
Was he
thought
on
he
the
was
team
gonna.
with Braun?
I want to say this was a few years ago. This was probably around that United States Championship era. I thought he was gonna get into a grittier side, and even with this Braun Breaker side, when he got into it, then I thought he was gonna get.
Oh, when he was wearing the all black.
Yep, when he was wearing the all black, I thought he was gonna get into a more gritty side, and then no, just a few weeks later, he goes back to the colorful, full body. It's just like you just trying shit instead of just saying, you know what, I'm gonna just stick to this right here, and I'm gonna make this shit work. Like I love the people. Like to me, outfits are a big part of your character, right? Like it's okay to change the colors, but you have to kind of stick to like a formula of what works.
What
So,
are the chances that Vince hoped that they would try to elevate their characters, but they were so hell bent on being their own thing that they kind of gave Vince the "take me as I am" little ultimatum?
well, I'm gonna be honest. If that FTR drawing that Vince had done for them, if that's any truth to that, then I mean, I don't even think anything they were saying could help the situation. It was kind of just like sink or swim.
Right. You talking
Yeah,
about the little, where they're just like little core gestures, or whatever, little puppets.
yeah. Because I mean,
I mean,
They did that to call to Epic, Primo, and Epico. They put them as the Matadoras or whatever. And I fucked with them even as that because they talented in ring. But I was like, damn, why they do them like that? Gave him El Torito and shit. But
and then you look at FTR now, it's like you might as well take it that gig earlier.
I mean, could have probably, I mean, could have finessed it somehow, maybe. I mean, the Undertaker, like, he's the greatest example. I mean, I think dudes like the Undertaker. I mean, who else had a character bestowed upon them and kind of made it work? I mean, I would even look at Mark
Mick
Henry. I
Foley.
don't know who.
Mick Foley,
Oh yeah, like
Dolph Ziggler, Chavo Guerrero, Hurricane.
made that shit work.
We can go on and on.
Like characters like Undertaker and Kane were arguably like you could say you put the wrong person in that character, they're gonna fail. You tell me you got a fucking a 6 foot dude coming out dressed out like Kane, delivering chokes. Like no, only a certain set of person can fill this role. Mindset, physique.
I'll give you a name: Husky Harris.
Man, no funny
we,
shit.
we
Him,
can go through all these names.
Ryback, cause Skip Sheffield. I fuck with Skip Sheffield. I was like, yo, who this fake Austin Goldberg in the face with the like he had a vest and a cowboy? I was like, nah. Who this Skip like I was like, nah, Skip Sheffield. Like that shit sound crazy. Like all them names they had for them dudes back then, like Husky Harris, Skip Sheffield, Wade Barrett. I was like, nah, dogs. Like these dudes' names is like they got it. Carver, the Carver dude. I'm like, nah, Garen Young.
Or look at Zack Ryder, now Matt Cardona.
Nah, he definitely made everything.
Look
He
at
was an
the
edge head.
Miz.
He was an edge head. My
Dolph
boy
Ziggler was in the Spear Squad.
yeah,
He was destined for failure. He still made it work. Like,
for real. Cause they tried to really push Kenny Dykstra before him. I remember Kenny Dykstra was like they really gave him this like he was supposed to be a superstar delivering his high leg drop off the top rope and shit. Like
Muhammad Hassan, another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he. I ain't gonna lie too. If it wasn't for that whole 9/11
Eugene.
shit, he was a great character, bro. Muhammad, I remember I fucked with him. It was just that
Folks didn't know he was a title after the fact.
who?
Folks didn't know he was a title after he got fired.
Yeah. And then look, we ain't mentioned Big Ooze, rest in peace. Yoko,
Mm-hmm.
man's booked him as a Japanese dude. As a sumo wrestler.
Or like I said, one of the more famous of them all, Eugene.
Right, yeah, nah, that shit. He got it, bro. He got it. Dude like Eugene got it, because I ain't gonna lie, like he really had the crazy hair to make it feel like he was really bugged. Like, you know what I'm saying? He really played that, bro. Owned it. We talk about owning it. He owned it. I mean, even Dustin Rhodes, Gold Dust.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh yeah, y'all want me to troll? Watch this.
I bet. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Look at Billy and Chuck with Rico back in the day.
Yeah,
That's we can go on and on.
not for real though. Those are great examples because who really want to sit there and like, let's say like if you really don't want to do that, then they tell you as a character, yo, this is what you. And then I'm pretty sure WWE is different from like Hollywood, right? Like Hollywood, you gotta what's the audition? You gotta audition for a role. This is you're independent contractor, but you're signed under contract to us, so you kind of got to fill the role that we tell you.
If you don't do this, you're fired.
Right. So if you want a job, you got to kind of do this. It's a different.
Vince having his my word the highway mentality too.
Yeah, like we'll have somebody. He got the somebody will fill this role mentality. And hell, we've seen it. We've seen him put Isaac Yankum, Glenn Jacobs as Diesel.
Or Rosie, superhero in training, stands the acronym was shit.
Yep. Yep. Literally just saying, yeah, I put anybody wherever I want to do whatever. Vince was so I remember he was taking time away from the talent to have his own little segment for the laptop, general manager, laptop, Michael Cole, and then he got
the anonymous GM.
Yeah.
Or you remember DBS character back then? Everybody has a prize where I don't know, it was RVD or someone, but as a kid, they famously did some stupid shit to get $100 off a Ted DiBiase.
Nah, I don't remember that. I think so. Matt, what like it was on an old episode of Raw or a pay-per-view?
Yeah. Where RVD or DBiase do that, trying to get some fans to do some strange or piece of change or whatever. There was a one video almost where it's a young RVD in the crowd that gets selected.
That's wild funny.
Yeah.
Even like, look, to be honest, Rey Mysterio, right? He let WWE put his real family into the storyline. The young kid, like he got Rey Mysterio's a G. He told his wife and kids, yo, we gonna eat. What?
Or you even go further, that the eye for an eye match.
Yeah. And I'm really talking about, remember like when Eddie was around, when he bring a young Dom into the fold, like that's you don't really see, like
you never saw that until then.
Yeah, you never saw that, bro. Somebody peeling back the curtains and really bringing in a real family. Like we was really asking for years, yo, is that whose son is that? Really Rey Mysterio's son? Like he taller than Rey. How's that Rey Mysterio's son? Nah, that gotta be Eddie's son. Like for years, people ask these questions.
Hey, shit. To this day, Dom's still going. Hey, I don't know. It was the '90s, folks were wilding, but I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't bet against it.
Like crazy. And as a wrestling family, like they get it. The Anoa'is get it. The Mysterios get it. The Anoa'is get it. The Rhodes get it. I mean, the Cody just got to stop being stubborn, but they definitely get it. If he didn't, he wouldn't be where he's at now. Dustin still wouldn't be doing what he's doing. Dusty did
Supposedly
what he
he's a
did.
free agent soon.
Man, he got to. I mean, I wouldn't want to see him as Goldust in WWE, but if they allow him to do what he's doing as Dustin right now, like the natural, oh my, bro, there's definitely a like, or even just I don't know, maybe I'm pushing it
Hold
because
on, real quick. You wouldn't want to see Goldust get inducted to the Hall of Fame?
hell yeah, that gotta happen. Almost has
Okay,
to.
yeah. I say you better have Booker T induct his ass while you're at it too.
I'm gonna be honest. If there's a person in the Hall of Fame that's never held a championship, not even the Intercontinental, a talent like Goldust that's held the Intercontinental, beef like he had a feud with Razor Ramon, had feuds with some of the best. Yeah, he
But
deserves
but but but,
Booker T championship tag team.
Goldust is often remembered for just not his stuff with not only stuff with Ahmed Johnson, but just that tag team with Booker T.
Yeah,
Just some of those backstage segments.
yeah.
Like that was one of the highlights of my childhood. It's like, oh shit, this is funny as hell.
And then when you fast forward, when they bring him back after a few years, we seen a whole different Goldust. Like this
I
was
mean,
like,
I remember seeing some of the late WCW stuff where they try to bring Dusty Rhodes back as some dude named Seven to be like
and he was dressed in
some
all
little
white.
some
Yeah,
little Chamo Peeping Tom stuff, and then in TNA you had him as Black Rain, or he had this pet rat and some other stuff. Like everything that he's done has been incredible. Even the bad stuff was he still made it work. And
mhm.
there ain't many folks that like him that could just turn chicken shit to chicken salad.
I mean, even in WWF when he was the artist formerly known as Goldust, and he had Luna Vachon with him, like that shit was ridiculous.
Or he damn near convinced Vince to let him get fake tits.
Yeah, and I mean, for better or worse, it was still memorable. Like I still remember that fucking green outfit with his pink hair. Like,
Whole BDSM outfit, whatever.
yeah. I mean, I look at even like Stevie Richards. Shout out to Stevie Richards because I don't know why. I just always I never really got to see much of his work, but I always felt like he had like to me when I played video games, I always picked him in like I think it was No Mercy when like he had the super kick in No Mercy. So I just always picked him. It's just
I remember seeing a lot of his stuff on like either Heat, Velocity, or even like a random SmackDown because you had him and Jamie Noble at times.
yep. Then I just
When Jamie
remember
Noble was riding with Nydia.
that right to censor group.
That
It
too.
worked. It worked for a second to me. Like it was like I don't know why this shit is annoying, but in a good way. It's like troll. It's like yeah,
It was different.
yeah. And then you took
Worked
all
so
the
bad that it's
people.
good.
Yeah, and you took all the people that was kind of like either already like you had the Godfather. We turned him from the Godfather to the Godfather.
Yeah, Val Venus.
Yep. Then you had damn what was Bull Buchanan. Like it was just like a odd cast, but for some reason to me they fit. Like
And then he had Ivory to just put it all together.
look at when the Social Outcasts did they shit. They made it work. I fucked with the Social Outcasts.
Shit, even League of Booty. I mean, League of Nations.
Yep. You was talking
That could have
about
been
the
something.
BT. Yeah, it definitely could. That shit had legs. Just they didn't give them no presentation. They just called them the League of Nations and like gave him some punk ass logo one time, and then I think Del Rio. That's when he started getting into his shit.
Yeah, because he didn't like in real life that Vince was letting Biggie call them League of Booty.
Mm,
But Del Rio had his demons. They had been at the same time too. But that's a whole other story. But it's like even Nexus could have been something if Cena did there in the Master Survivor Series or sometime whatever the fuck it was when Bret Hart came out.
Nah, they definitely had legs because they were kind of a reason why I started watching wrestling at that. I probably had
That
stopped
got a lot
watching
of
for a
folks
year.
back into watching.
Yeah, especially you got the involvement of CM Punk, even though it kind of got watered down by the time he had really touched them. Pause, like you know what I'm saying. But when they started going crazy, it was a unique time. It was a unique time, especially John
And then
Cena's involvement with them.
you rebrand the Nexus as the Core.
Yeah, that was bad. Like I ain't
Yeah,
like that.
that
You
was
got
ugly.
Justin Gabriel and them trying to lead the charge now. Way back, I like it. I don't know.
Now, nothing against Justin Gabriel.
I like what he do
Well,
after he left WWE, but that Justin Gabriel character, I
you
ain't
mean
fuck
when
with.
he became the Darewolf?
Mm-hmm. I'm more of a fan of the gritty. I like gritty characters, the overly colorful faces, and then when they become heels, when they still have the aspect of them being face, it's just cringy to me. It's like, nah, it's too try hard.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, like even your name ring face vibes to me, Justin Gabriel. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why like certain people when they got certain names that they can really be used in versatile ways, it's dope. When somebody sound like they had to switch this dude name that's with Christian Luchasaurus, like you know, like Jack. Some people got to undergo a name change because they going undergoing a character change, but they look like the same fucking person.
Well, yeah. I mean, he didn't change the mask.
Right? Like
That was,
he just changed the
that was
colors,
that was not even that.
man.
Like, if anything, it's like half a shade darker, so it's basically the same fucking color.
Right. Like fuck, what was it? Olive green. It just became more like, oh, like not even the olive green, but like that snakeskin green, like a
Yeah,
reptilian green, and then now it just got a little darker. Like that what they call him now, kill switch. It's a
they still fuck up Luchasaurus sometimes.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Wow.
Yeah, as we'll wind down, anything else to catch your eye in the world of the internet?
You said have I caught anything on the internet?
Anything else catch your eye?
Um, I felt like there was, but it's not coming to me right now. But I feel like I've been seeing things out there, but yeah, I just can't put it together right now. Um, I had said earlier about Rusev. I guess that was like the latest thing. The Miro. That just I just wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's probably like the I've been seeing the lowlights of AEW again, and I caught
I won't say there was. It's just the average lights.
right that this is normal day in the office for them. I seen Tony Khan on LaGreca's show and Busted Open.
Oh, he actually showed up.
Yeah, that lets me know that they needed that publicity. Maybe like need is the wrong word. Maybe once
Bully
that.
Ray's been telling him for months, like, what the fuck you afraid of?
Yeah.
Like,
Nah,
like you chose to stop appearing out of nowhere. We've always given you a weekly time slot to just pull up and just talk whatever you want. It's just when you're on our platform, we just ask that you at least entertain the questions we are presenting to you. Other than that, it's say whatever you want.
people want to
Where things
avoid real journalism.
where things went south was when Bully Ray would ask a simple yes or no question. All Tony Khan would he'll just go into just his cue card mode and just say, well, everything we have is great, everything we have is perfect, everything is great, everything is great, everything is great, and Bully will say, well, I have a specific question. Can you at least give me your specific intel on that? Now, if you don't want to answer the question, tell me ahead of time. Otherwise, I'm gonna assume you're okay with me asking the question. Because again, whether Tony wants to admit it or not, some of us, or I would assume most of us, want them to succeed. It's just at minimum, we want him to show that he at least gives a damn about the shit he's putting out.
I just
Because
personally think like he knows after 4 or 5 years in here, I don't think he's being as delusional, but he's not trying to show his whole hand and tell us that he knows. But he knows. He knows. I mean, him doing that
I'll argue
appearance.
otherwise.
That no, for me, it was him doing that appearance. Like I was like, why would he? He hasn't been showing up on Busted Open. So to me, he
In a
wants
few
to
years.
right. And now that y'all in New York, y'all been in New York. This isn't the first time you in New York in 2 years, is it? Like I feel like y'all, they were just here, right?
No, they were in Arthur specifically maybe 8 months ago.
Right. So the excuse can't be, oh, we doing media runs. You avoided the last media few runs they tried to get with you.
Because you're afraid of quote unquote being attacked. And it's like, no, you're not being attacked. It's just we want to see where your head is at because of, again, mental health stuff. But also, it's like, we want to see how you guys are progressing as a company.
It's kind of like no disrespect to Ice Cube, right? I didn't never see Ice Cube doing a lot of public appearances, right? When the big three started to lose viewership because of what's going on with the NBA, I started seeing that motherfucker everywhere.
Well, so with that, allegedly, Adam Silver was trying to blackball him.
Yeah, so he got to now make these appearances again. Now I understand Tony Khan isn't being blackballed, but I think like again with the he knows the viewerships ain't where he wants to promote it, so he got to do something. And making that appearance on Busted Open was one way to, in his eyes, maybe mend the fence. You know what I'm saying? The broken bridge there, and try
Yeah,
to
yeah,
fix something. But
but also with Tony, you can't go into every interview assuming that folks are out to get you. Folks do care about your product. It's just when you duck and dodge them, you kind of fuel the narrative that hey, maybe you are scared, and then they go into why are you scared? Or is it scared because we're asking a genuine question? Are you mad because we're not constantly kissing your ass? Like, what is it?
yeah, I think it's a combination of all of those things, and he's probably not proper. Even though he works for he owns these teams and businesses. He's proper. He's probably not properly trained to handle the PR questions because there is a way to still dance around those questions with a smile on his face. It just you could visibly see he gets bothered when asked real journalistic questions, and that's tough because he just wants to do marketing runs. He just wants to promote. You're not
And
really doing the interviews to give the fans or the people what they want
and
because
here's
that's
why
what
I don't
people
buy
is.
that. Here's why I don't buy that. His family has owned the Jaguars for well a good amount of time. He's been in that quote unquote limelight for a minute. There was a
So you
time
feel like he
before
gotta
a
know.
there was a time before AEW to or even now to where the Khan family isn't liked in that particular franchise. There's been rumors that that family is the reason why folks like Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey, to name a few, have walked away from that franchise to pursue bigger and better things because they don't like how that family operates as a front office. Now that much is hearsay, she say, but it's like given how Tony has acted with AEW as of late, it's like there's got to be some merit to that. Like if folks within the teams that you actually own have felt some type of way because of how you choose to operate as a quote unquote business, what makes you think that this hobby that you attempt to call a business, why shouldn't they have doubts in you? And that's where we're at today.
Yeah, but that was it right there. To me, just to spin the block back on SmackDown, I thought it was a fire episode. I can't wait for you to watch it. And like you said, maybe Monday when we get into the Raw thoughts, you could give me your thoughts on just watching the show again from home, hearing the commentary to go along with it.
I'm looking forward to the commentary because I don't know if it made it on the air for SmackDown, but after the Chelsea Green video package, I can see from where I'm sitting just Michael Cole just going ham on Corey Graves about something. The whole crowd was just eating that shit up. So I'm curious to see what actually made the air for SmackDown.
Yeah, I got to see that part also. I can't tell you because I was just walking into the room and seeing the Chelsea Green, seeing them cut back the commentary, but
because there was a part right when it ended to where again I don't know if it made SmackDown or not, but Michael Cole is standing up, damn near on the verge of climbing the desk, just going ham on Graves about something, and the crowd was just losing their minds by they're just chanting Michael Cole that whole time.
Yeah,
there was a solid Michael Cole chant for about 5 minutes because he was just going in. So again, listen, I'm looking forward to seeing what made the air.
Yeah, I might check it out probably soon before I go to bed. Just get one more look at SmackDown. I told you I wanted to do that anyway, so that's probably what the rest of my night gonna look like.
Nice.
Yes, sir. But we out of here, chat. Monday night, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be honest, chat. My kids have started school, so I'll be a little drained. I'll be up earlier than I usually do now. So
we can always do a Tuesday morning show if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always with the day after for sure. Hell yeah. So if we don't bring it to y'all Monday night, we can do Tuesday morning for sure.
I just never know how early you're actually awake because when you're not doing the stuff with kids, your ass is always on 2K.
Yeah, I'll be up 8 a.m. Eastern. Word, that 2K, man, the grind. If y'all in the chat, y'all gotta pay attention. AC the King on Twitch. We be hooping. Legendary hoop games, they occur. You know what I'm saying? Check us out. But yeah, I'll be up 8 a.m. So we could, if we don't do it Monday night, because that 3-hour shows, that's what the point I'm getting to. It's easier for me to do these 2-hour shows on a Friday night and coast off into the weekend. But
okay. So with that being said, if it's 8:30 your time, it's 5 a.m. my time. So by 8:30 your time, start on Tuesday. Start expecting a random text from me saying we're doing this or not.
Say that, yup. And that's only if we don't bring it to y'all Monday night, chat. So be locked in with us. I see yes, 13 sir. Out here with us. So I appreciate everybody that's tapped in with us. Y'all have a good night. Off the hip, man. Before we get out of here, we're gonna let y'all go off right though, man. I know how it is.
Let them know. Yeah,
Chilling at the head of the table where the bosses sit, stunning everything in sight. Whether it's in the bloodline or corporate, walk me out the arena, big smile on, handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait. We got some shooters, pow. It's off the head. We got some shooters, pow. It's off the head. Chilling at the head of the table where the bosses sit, stunning everything in sight. Whether it's in the bloodline or corporate, walk me out the arena, big smile low, handcuffed by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script. We got some shooters, pow, pow. This off the hip, pow. This off the hip. This, pow. chilling at the head of the table where the bosses sit, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out, get read a big smile on, handcuffed by officers.